Hello and welcome. It's TPK Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Hello, ProStar, Friendly, Sensei, Cody, CPO, Gator, Beavis. Hello, Lurker. Lurker, thank you very much for the 21 months. Incredibly kind of you. Thanks for sticking around for so goddamn long. Appreciate you. Sorry, I was not quick enough to mute. Ruffian, thank you very much for 13 months. Incredibly kind to you, brother. Thanks for sticking around for more than a year. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for all of your concern. The issue is that I don't have things like sick days. I do have to stream if I'm gonna be able to like afford rent and all that other shit. So dying or not, we're streaming. Hello, Apocalyptian. Sound like how I feel. It seems like everyone is sick this January. Yeah, the house is still sick. I hear Momo cough most of the time. She's probably taking it better than I am. I was over it for like a week. I felt great. And then it just came back with a vengeance. Started beating my ass. Anyway. Leon. January not catching me this year. Dungeon Dad is just extra dad today. Thank you. You know, there is something to be said about like how I've been using my voice. I probably can't do it now, but like a day or so ago, like before we did Into the Shadows Breach, I was walking around just quoting God of War because my voice had just enough that sort of rasp where I could sound like Kratos, and I was just walking around quoting Kratos the entire time, and I was quoting Optimus Prime. Autobots, roll out. Well, that wasn't half bad. No, it's probably not healthy at all. Might have heard the new influenza strain is wild this year. Hope you guys didn't get doubled in. Oh, Jesus. I don't hope so either. Please, more Optimus. I love him. Admittedly, I don't know much about Autobots. I've only ever seen the Michael Bay movie, so I know that Optimus in like the comics and the cartoons is way less bloodthirsty than he is in the Michael Bay movies. Boy. Not as good as it was yesterday. Your mother taught you how to hunt. I am hungry. Oh. Can't do it. I can do the Optimus one pretty good, but I can't do the Kratos one anymore. It's too much of too much phlegm in the back of my throat now.
Yeah, that's my covert effect too. To this day, I'm still coughing up stuff occasionally.
Hate that. There's like I have like a really harsh like dry cough. And it usually only happens when I'm like laying down. Like I'm trying to hack up whatever the fuck is back there, and I just can't. So I spend like the last couple nights, I haven't been able to really go to bed. I just sort of pass out from exhaustion. Um, so like it'll be like I'm like, all right, it's 12 o'clock. It's midnight. I'm exhausted. So let's go to bed. I lay down and I just keep coughing and hacking and coughing. And I'm sure I'm keeping my fucking roommates up. I'm sure they hate me with how bad my cough is. Then I look over and it's fucking like 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Just let me go to bed. By the time I'm actually able to fall asleep, it's like 7 or 8 in the morning. So it's 8 hours
Christ.
of me violently coughing. Then I can finally go to bed. So like I woke up maybe like an hour and a half ago.
Damn.
Yeah, man, this shit's beating my ass, and I'm so fucking tired. Like, every time I cough, I'm like, I want nothing more than to remove my lungs. Let me be free of this burden. Have you seen any of the new videos of Matt Pat saying he's retiring? Who's Matt Pat?
Game theory.
Oh, I mean, makes sense. The dude's been doing it since I was a kid. So. How's the map making? I'm sorry. My hand fumbled over the mute button.
It's alright.
The map making is going well. I'm working on one of the edges of Elion right now.
Work on this.
All right, we'll hand it over.
All right.
I don't think he's in condition to work on that.
No. It's time for the sloppy snotty.
About to come out
fuck
of
you
this
just say?
different people. We'll never be able to look at each other the same.
That's right.
I don't think you want what he has on your dick.
What? That's presumptuous.
You heard me. Okay, my fault.
What'd you do this time, Sivas?
What do you mean what I do this time?
Said it was your fault, and that's what I arrived at. What do you do?
I misjudged Sizzle.
Oof.
Damn.
Honestly, it was
Fucking-
kind of rude.
Aided
Shots turned
guys are off
against
the
you.
hook, dude.
Also, hello, Sarah.
Hey, man.
For once.
Damn, you sound like shit, actually.
This is what I've been sounding like every day that we talk.
You kind of sounded a little bit cuter this morning. Like, you had a bit of a lilt, I should say. You were melodic, happy. Now you sound like Dante came up in the night and used your, like, throat as a boxing bag.
No. No, that's COVID, I'm afraid.
Damn, dude. You're like the biggest guy in the house. You should have beaten that shit, like, a month ago.
Yep.
Get
That's
over
how that
it.
works.
Yeah, man.
Just
you
get
fucking-
over it.
Look at this fucking guy. Build like a fucking bull. Get that shit out of your system. Fight it back.
If only were that simple.
Just take your vitamins. Oh my god,
I do actually need to buy more vitamins.
nice.
Yeah.
You get
Tristan
that
told
like
me that.
you get like that orange powder. It's like filled with vitamin C and shit.
When I buy vitamins, I buy like a whole fucking bundle. So like I'll buy
Nice.
like multivitamin packs that are like 1,000, and then I'll get like the other like necessary vitamins.
My man fucking walks out of CVS basket full of
Nah.
vitamins. I'll
You don't
never
need all
die.
that shit, man. Just wash your face, take a hot shower, and get over yourself. Let's go.
Damn.
Walk it off, champ.
Walk it
Damn.
off. Go for a fucking walk, bro. Damn.
Go for a walk. Yeah, so I can fall down the fucking driveway.
Like my dumbass? Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks,
Nice.
man.
Whole foot of snow out there, man. It's crazy, actually.
Oh man, it's winter.
Yeah, see, you say that, but see, where I live, it's just wet.
Hey, same.
Also, where you live, that's common. Like winter in Arizona, just wet.
Yeah, it's kind of cold and wet.
Yep. And you know, it's fucked because down in Venezuela, we have summer right about this time. In this month,
What?
it's the hottest. Yeah. Yeah, our
What?
seasons are inversed.
Yeah, Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, the coolest season is around the time summer comes here. And right now, they're fucking baking there.
That's weird.
It's the only one we get, baby.
That's what they'd have you believe.
I wonder how it's gonna look in 50 years.
Probably flooded.
No ozone.
Apocalyptic.
Damn, man. Y'all supposed to be the optimistics.
We are.
Don't
Gotta look
make
around.
me be the one that isn't a cynic.
Time to break the mold, Zurich.
Holy shit. You know what? We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. I think Europe is gonna figure it out. I think England's gonna be like, we're sorry, can we go back in? Everyone else is gonna be like, yeah, come on. It's fine.
Yeah, you know that British humility.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. We're gonna figure out the Darren line, open borders.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna start making pools out of the cement you
Every
use for that wall you
single-
build and sell.
Yep. Every oil company will you can simultaneously collapse and make way for a fresh, like, eco-friendly power. And
Yeah.
not
Nuclear
have
power finally
direct-
rise up.
I mean, they won't collapse. It'll be like a slow transition. Kind of like when y'all abolished slavery. It was like a
Emphasis
slow
so on
thing.
the slow.
I mean, it was a slow thing at first, and then y'all went to war, right? Yeah. Man, fucking Americans are off the hook. You people are fucking wild.
What do we think of the forest so far?
Is that
I roll
the
perception.
is that the keep for the
Yes.
I forget their name.
As it's for the High Lord, but the one that has the silos.
Oh, okay.
It's for
No,
when
that's
he
not what I was
visits.
thinking, by the way. I was thinking that was the abandoned, ruined area where you had the Kingsman.
No, I mean it was. I've replaced it and put the keep there.
Oh. Looks dope.
Yeah, it's basically gonna have a steward, gonna watch over it until the High Lord visits, and stay there in the keep. Then they'll leave, go to the next town. The next town has a keep or not, who knows? But Eliand is efficient enough and has enough influence, sort of crafters, to be able to have a keep for the High Lord
Ayo.
and retinue.
You telling me
Plus-
Eliond is no longer off the grid?
No, it is actually its main road
What the
is
fuck?
connected to Ettenheim.
Holy
Capital.
shit.
Crown, does the militia garrison in that keep?
I don't know.
Maybe it could be like they garrison there, but when they know the High Lord's going, they have to fucking grumble and complain and get out to make room for his men.
What I initially had was that nobody stayed in the keep except for the steward. The steward and his family basically are allowed to stay there because they keep it well maintained for the High Lord.
Gotcha.
And then once the High Lord arrives, they basically sort of tend to his needs, keep the keep in tip-top shape until he eventually leaves.
Dangerous.
So he's evil, right?
No.
Does he do like the Normandy thing where he gets to like have sex with your wife when you've married them?
What the fuck? The first night law? Are you crazy?
Yeah. Come on.
No. Get the fuck
Let's
out
get
of here.
historical, man.
I don't think he does.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
Dude, that's crazy, bro. Especially when you're in a land where you get voted in. Yeah, you start
imagine-
fucking everyone's wife. No one's
How
gonna
mad do you
vote
think
for you.
Razi would be if fucking Rofil got conquered and the and the Admor did that?
Jeez.
Christ.
Fucking asshole rolls up, takes your Leonid wife. See you tomorrow. Rides off.
Seth War, thank you very much for the 2 months, brother. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you.
Look, if you want to bring cuckolder into the world, make it in the East. All right.
Look,
Sizzle?
it's just like no matter how like weird and unusual your fantasy world is, it'll never be as weird and cruel as actual history, you know?
Fucking hilarious. No, House Ricewind doesn't do that. No, the reason he has keeps in all of these towns and everything is when he does his season patrols, as basically as his own road warden. He'll stop at a town or a city for like a week or more and basically deal with the local threats.
No, that's too deep, Crown. Maybe he just shows up for Prima Nocta. You know what I mean? Like he hears it's a wedding, and he's like, I gotta fuck that bride. That's my responsibility. Otherwise, that marriage is doomed. So he rolls there as fast as possible on his horse, ahead of his entourage. Because, legal rights, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't write anything
No?
like that. So I think
My sister likes
I think
it.
I'll refrain.
Look, I'm just, I'm a kind of a sucker for like history and
That wasn't even a thing, man. That's not even confirmed. I'm a sucker for his.
I
Come
mean,
on.
most of history isn't confirmed. Let's be real here.
That shit. The French did that. All right, like
Oh well, then it is confirmed.
no, they made it up.
Wait,
I mean, you can't really know that though.
That's
Normandy
what I mean.
is French. Wait a minute.
You can't know that it was a thing.
That is turned against you, sir.
I'm literally just saying what Sissel said, chat.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
pitching it on his behalf. What's
They
happening?
don't like it. Whatever you're saying.
I don't like.
Oh yeah, I made it real, and suddenly everybody's like, "Ooh, I
Damn.
don't know about that. Ooh, fuck.
Damn, sure.
Sir, you're upsetting the constituents.
Not my wife. Fucking stay away from my wife."
So, Lord Ricewind will arrive, deal with Elion's threats in the Deepwood,
And
probably go
wives.
kill some Morling, kill some harpies, what have you. Capture some bandits, bring them back to the constabulary and the magisterium. And then be like, all right, my week service is done. I'm moving on to the next town.
I wonder, stepping away from the whole Prima Nocta, could the youth of the town be like, we want to tag along with the High Lord?
Yeah, I talked about it before in the idea that like a road warden has the power and authority to conscript like able-bodied people, but 9 times out of 10 he doesn't have to. All he has to say is who is willing to fight with me. And most able-bodied people will pick up their weapon and tag along with Warden to kill some fucking Vigar.
Oh,
He rolls up to a town, has a bunch of Moorlings sitting there with like mustaches. Oh, nothing to see here, sir. Carry on.
I meant mostly joining his entourage for good.
Oh, that's a bit more of a challenge. So joining his entourage for good, you would have to be pretty exceptional if you're not a knight.
Yeah, so like, let's say some kid grabs a spear. He's like, "Hell yeah, my high lord!" He goes out there, he spears a slaughter lord somehow, and comes out of it kicking still.
Yeah, I think if you went out as a militia boy and fucking speared a slaughter lord in front of your high lord, I'm pretty sure your high lord would knight you. I'm pretty sure they would be like a trophy of your victory. Here is pulls out sword. I dub thee knight. And because I'm the high lord, I have complete and total say, and you don't have to meet any Dracus or any Elderman or anything like that. And welcome to my entourage.
And you probably have like the most badass witness as that is happening.
Correct.
You have like your Grimbolds and all those guys there watching you get knighted.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
have
I'm
the
saying.
High Lord knighting you, and then you have his retinue of like badass knights who travel with him, who are there to watch that happen, who are already like heroes in their own regard.
Imagine tagging along that after getting lucky with a spear hit.
Yep. Then you basically travel with the High Lord on the rest of it. He basically goes, "Hey, you're coming with me. You're part of my retinue now. Thank you for your service to the Etenmore. We're gonna make sure your family's taken care of.
But my
Shoots them.
turnips, my lord.
You needn't worry about
Fucking
turnips anymore."
Stomps on your turnips. Don't worry about that anymore.
But the harvest is coming by, my lord. I have to help my wife and all.
That would be an interesting situation where like you have an obligation to your family, but you still tagged along with the high. I think what would happen, I think for House Ricewind, they would be like, "All right, Saint Merwin, guide your harvest or bless your harvest, and when the harvest is done, meet me in Nymore, which is the next
Oh.
county over."
And you better show up, son.
Correct. I have plans to stay in Nymore, in the county of Nymore, for a month. So you have, whenever your harvest is done, you meet me in Nymore.
And he probably gets vacation once he gets back to his keep.
One more
He
time.
He probably gets to go back home when the High Lord makes it back.
Oh yes, yeah. That's basically
His
what
little
happens.
tour.
Is that once the High Lord has finished his tour and goes back to Ettenheim, everybody just sort of goes, "All right," and then they go back home. And then you
All the
basically get
questing
called
knights go
back.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you go do your own thing, basically. But like 9 times out of 10, you're going to go back home to your family. Because you're going to get all of your adventure with the High Lord. Unless you're trying to become a Dracus. Or
Yeah, unless you're trying to become like a career military
Correct.
guy.
so you're
When
going
you
to
go home like that, they love you, dude.
You're going to finish your tour with the High Lord. And then you're going to go do your own shit. And the reason for doing your own shit is to build rapport with the other Dracuses, and the other Yaldermen, in hopes that word spreads to your High Lord off season. So that way the next time you guys meet up, he goes, "Hey, I heard all the cool shit you did when I was back home. I like that shit. There's an opening in Morndeer, county of Morndeer. I want you to be my Yalderman there."
But my turnips, my lord.
No, you're my questing knight. Now you have finished your quest.
Can I farm turnips there, my
Yes.
lord? Can I bring the wife and the 7 children,
Yes,
my
yes. You'll be
And
in
my
charge of a whole
cousins and
town.
lord? My
Just so
extended
happens that you'll
family, my
make
lord.
up most of the town as well with your family.
I also have some family in Rosewood. Can I get them? Can I recall
If
them
they
there?
want to come, you'll have to. Depends on where they live, but you'll have to speak to a magister and potentially give them the ability to move.
What about my older son, my lord? May I have your blessing to see him squired and tested?
Yeah, sure. Bring him here.
Pushes up like this tubby kid, still freckled.
Oh, Jesus. Him?
Well, he
alright.
likes his turnips, my lord.
All right.
Sir, I just fucking love farming. I don't think you understand.
Of course, he's built like a brick house.
Of course
Make
he
no
is.
mistake.
No, he's fucking. He's built like a shit brick house. He's massive.
Yeah.
He's also 11.
Indeed, he's an 11 necklace Tarosi bull that's been farming turnips since his tree. And here he is,
Need to have a cow, man.
the turnip knight.
Yeah, and then you end up in a Gerald situation where you were a former hero, a former knight, retinue, or part of the High Lord's retinue. You did some badass shit. And then he basically gives you a political office and says, all right, do that now. And you go, okay. Because you were a knight, you possess the ability to knight other people.
What if they refuse and they're like, I want to keep going through the
You
ropes?
can. You absolutely can refuse. It would be a little bit of like a social faux pas to be like, I don't want to do that.
Nah.
But it's also understood. It's also very Tarosi to be like, my death shall be at the hands of a Morling, and only then I will not die alone in my bed.
That's technically a road warden. That's how you'd make a road, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to settle. I want to patrol.
Yeah. So what would happen? Actually, I mean, usually how you become a part of the High Lord's retinue is that you're a road warden to begin with.
Oh, but this is the turnip knight.
Well, this is the turnip knight. This is the
Yeah,
guy
this
who
is the
this is the guy who killed the slaughter lord. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be specific. Turnip guy.
So, turnip knight, not previously a knight at all, has been knighted by the High Lord.
The TK.
The High Lord, I think if he didn't want to join the retinue, which would be very shocking to Lord Ricewind, I think he would be like, okay, so this is what's going to happen. I've knighted you, and you have my full blessing. What you're going to do now is you're going to go to the seat of the county in Rosewood, and you are going to speak to the Dracus, and you are going to become the road warden of your town.
Is that before or after the harvest, my lord?
Ooh. I see. You're strong, but not bright. Very good.
How far away is the harvest?
It's about 2 months, my lord.
Oh, well, it'll take you about a month to get there and a month to get back. So,
Yeah, but I have to be here to weed them. And water them. And see
don't you have 7 kids?
Right, but only 2 are of age, my lord. And the wife has a weak back, you see.
Give me a moment. Goes up to the alderman. Send some of the militia boys to the Turnip Knight's house. Help his family with harvest. He's going to the seat of the county.
He begins to sweat.
Comes back. Going to the county.
He's afraid for his turnips as he sees these naughty militia children coming up.
I feel like the High Lord has to start wondering if this guy's like running like a side business or something.
All right, my lord.
You take a cart or a wagon, it should take you about half the time.
Okay, I'll whip up my best mule.
You know how to ride a horse.
No, but Esmeralda here, she is quite the mount, my lord. Make no mistake. He slaps this mule that's like half his size.
Kicks.
Stood. Gonna turn back to probably the wizard in his party and be like, hey, is there anything wrong with him? Like, how did he kill a slaughter lord?
Did the slaughter, like, was it sick? Did it trip and fall?
He throw the spear for me.
Well, you see, my lord, bravery is found in the unlikeliest places.
Hey,
Who knows? Perhaps Evor blessed his spear, or he exchanged illiteracy for spear throwing.
I see. Very well. Get on your mule and make your way to the seat of the county. Brackus will be waiting for you.
Turnip Knight, without skipping a beat, slides onto his mule. The mule remains there in spite his constant nagging at its side, trying to get it to go. One of his kids, seeing that he's not moving, ruining the moment, moves up and starts leading it away.
Yeah, so Turnip Knight would become a road warden for whatever town he had stopped in. And if they already have a road warden, what'll probably happen is that the road warden with seniority will probably go to Rosewood. He'll replace him.
Nice.
So they both get a promotion.
I'd imagine that he'd eventually find a horse, or his way onto a horse, and his kid inherits the mule. And off they go, Sancho Panza style.
Huh?
You've you don't know that reference?
Huh. What did you
Oh
just
my
say to
god.
me?
You've never read Don Quixote?
Huh.
Do you know Don Quixote? It's this guy who's on a horse and he has like a squire that rides a donkey. And they charge windmills.
I think you've talked about it. He has like fucked up vision.
Yeah, it's like this knight who is basically losing it, right? And as a way to sort of revive his old days of glory, he keeps thinking that windmills are his one foe. And his squire, Sancho Panza, always indulges him, on his donkey. Yeah, get him, my lord, and he cheers for him and shit.
That's sad.
It's actually pretty cute. That'd be the Turnip Knight's kid. Get him there. Yeah, he thinks they're giants. That's right. I can totally see the Turnip Knight being like that guy from Dragon Ball Z. The dude who was like the best wrestler in the world, and then Goku showed up, with his otherworldly shit. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mr. Satan or some shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Karma Arcana, thank you very much for 3 months, brother. I appreciate you. Sticking around. Feel better, Crowned? Thanks, man. I hope I will. And Skull Throne, thank you very much. 13 months. Look at that, more than a year. I think I earned a little PogChamp from
A little what?
Very well, Skull Throne. Fine. I guess you are my PogChamp.
Damn. Brings a tear to my goddamn eye.
Or
All right.
Call me a whore?
yes.
fuck?
I think he's jealous.
Whore. You already have a puck chat. Asshole. Yeah. Yeah, cough.
What the fuck?
Metastasize, motherfucker.
Burning.
Oh. Don't even need the voice mod. That's right. We're handing out rations. Service for a whole year. What's going on, Thex? Everybody's invested in Turnip Night.
As they should be.
Yep, that's a new NPC.
Yeah, what I did for Elliot.
I mean, I cleaned my hands. Chad made turnip. I didn't do nothing.
Oh, you made Turnip Night.
No, they made turnip night. I didn't do nothing. I washed my hands of this. Turnip night is Chad's night. And he's all about
Damn.
turnips. And he loves his wife. And his 7 children. And his 1 daughter.
Catch you later, Varys. Rest well.
Not adulting. Ugh.
Yikes.
We're just like a lot of hills.
Yo, Crown, do you grab any of the fried rice?
Nah. I didn't know there was fried rice.
Brother, you need to check the home chat. I made it for you. I thought of you with love in my heart as I drowned the rice in soy sauce.
I mean, thanks.
That's
Yeah.
sodium. That's for you.
I appreciate it. There was
You're gonna eat it.
all right,
Oh.
man.
Yeah. I said, like, I know none of you people can get your street racer food today, so I was gonna make fried rice for everyone.
Race for food, man.
DoorDash.
Look at DoorDash. Watch me.
Yeah,
Damn.
Eskimos
Oh.
gonna roll here with fucking
Yeah.
netted shoes and be like, here you go, Crown. Keep doing it. You go, King. Get it. Fucking Wendy's.
Then I give them COVID because they don't listen to my direction order. Or my order directions. Knock on the door and wait for me to open it.
Nice.
Putting it on the fucking porch. They ring the doorbell. I explicitly tell them not to do.
Nice.
I'm a shithead. If I order food, my driver completely fucking ignores my directions. You lose a star for every direction you failed.
How many
Oh my
how many
god.
directions do you put on
What
there?
the fuck?
Ew.
I give you a bad review.
Ew.
I thought you were gonna say some shit like, "Yeah, I give you COVID, so your fucking grandma
Nope.
eats it." Nope. You just-
Nope.
it
If you
was-
can't fucking read, real simple. Leave it on the porch. Do not ring the doorbell, please and thank you.
Doorbell go ding.
I plan on watching it, Skullthrone. Funny you mentioned that. I caught up, rather, on Freerun last night. I caught up to episode 17. And then I watched, I got up to like episode 8 of like Jujutsu Kaisen. But I do want to watch Dungeon Mesh here. Especially because Summer recommended that I would like the dwarf character.
He's turned full weeb on us, boys. There's no going back.
Yeah. That's weeb is just watching anime now?
That's right.
I see.
That's right. Give it a month. You'll be talking about how Hero Academia is the best anime to ever to exist.
Freerun's the best anime to ever.
Ugh, what a weeb.
Right, baby. It used to be Gios for. That was my favorite. And I started watching Freerun a lot.
Nice.
I see this stream is becoming an anime stream, so I will go to bail now.
Oof.
Howard.
Well, you mistreated me just now. You called somebody else your PogChamp. Well, I was here. I told you to do that shit behind my back.
Behind his back.
Yeah, so it
see
doesn't
you
hurt my
riled
feelings.
up.
No, stop trying to fucking make me jealous. All you're accomplishing is making me feel bad, and then I'm gonna lick the spoon I serve your rice with.
I feel like I don't think he cares at this point.
Oh no.
I think the damage has been done.
Another bout of COVID.
Don't even fucking joke about that, actually. If that fucking COVID goes through this house again, if it sweeps through this house as a fucking 4th time, I think that's it, baby. It's game over for the house. It's the end of the honor run for this house.
So fucking tired of being sick. Like every time I cough, especially when I'm trying to go to bed, I'll just curse the air. Like I'll cough and I'm like, stop fucking making me cough. I'll kill you. It sucks.
God, I have never prayed to you before. I have no tongue for it.
Nobody wants to know my location. It knows it. That son of a bitch.
I think COVID's still on the fucking walls. Like, you know how spiders nest at the corners?
Yep.
Like fucking Tyndall's hounds? It's waiting for us to, like, clear the disease, get healthy again, have that good week, and then they're like, gotcha. Gotcha, bitch.
Found you lacking.
Oh, your levels went down? Oh, you went out in the cold at night with your shitty fucking flip-flops? This is it.
One of these days, I'm gonna cough so hard I just fucking throw up.
Guys, the worst thing has happened to me. I suck at Fortnite.
Oh.
I've had
Yeah.
those nights where, like, I'm just getting repped by people.
I started playing ranked because I'm like, there's no bots here, so I was feel like I'm wasting my time. And also, you get more experience. And now I've hit gold, and now everyone's on my skill level, so I just get owned.
Feel that.
So I'm like, well, now I don't want to play anymore. I no longer feel like an epic Giga Chad, so I quit
What are you talking about?
Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
Jory Ferris, thank you very much for the raid. Thank you for trusting me with your community. I'm afraid you've joined in the middle of my COVID arc. So I sound raspy and weird. I'm coughing my brains out.
That's
Very
because I'm
hilarious.
sexy as fuck.
Hey, don't think of
Alright,
yourself
so,
as raspy as weird. Just think of yourself as like a Johnny Cash in the making.
I'm hot as fuck, and I get all the husbands and all the wives.
We came here to see the end of my
Ghost.
streamer. That's all right, brother. I'm gonna stream some Fortnite and then heal over.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna play Fortnite.
No, not tonight. I'm seeing how far I can get just making this birth. My shortness of breath kills me.
Understood. Before I run off to my Swedish friend, Sissel, have you played Honor Mode, Baldur's Gate?
I have not. I've been thinking about it.
You've been
About
thinking
the
about it?
pain. Yeah. I want to finish the game though before I actually do that.
You have not finished the game. Oh shit.
Nah, bro. I hit Act 3 and Act 3 is so fucking huge. I'm like, uh-oh.
It is huge and it's hard.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've,
I played the
I've been
game.
dutifully playing it with Bale, and we're just about to finish. Actually, no, we still have to do the crash. But we're level 6, so we're probably gonna just fucking fly through that.
Nice.
Yeah. So if we die, do you wanna join up on the next one? If we get
Sure.
wiped,
I'll suffer.
we're probably gonna get wiped. This is gonna be our third wipe if we get wiped again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, our first game was super strong. I was playing like a gold heart or whatever dwarf barbarian,
Mhm.
and he was a god. I did everything right. Like I got the dexterity gloves. I maxed out con. I maxed out strength because I always had like an elixir of hill giant strength, right?
Have some
And
chat.
I had that. Yeah, like we abused Ethel, so we could buy out her elixirs every time, and I ended up with like 27 of them. So every long rest, I'm always chugging, right?
Nice.
Yeah,
I
my
used
barbarian was a
bag,
god.
but- That's a hell of a thing.
You wanna know how we wipe?
Face spider.
No. The face spider was super easy. If you kill her eggs, her legendary action is null. Can't use
Yeah.
it. No. We wiped at the sentinel, the electrical sentinel at the tower in the Underdark. The one that's like
Ooh.
foolish something,
Yeah,
speak ill
yeah.
words, and then
he owned
it used its legendary action, and we're morons, we're freaking out. We have no resistances for him. We weren't for some reason we forgot, so we're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do, Adam. We're gonna go down the elevator. So we descend. Guess what happens when you descend?
Yeah, they follow your ass.
They follow your ass, and not just that, he's so big that he ends up on the fucking doorway of the elevator. So you can't leave, and he has that AoE legendary shit that shocks everything around him.
Yeah, his fight is also like one of those ones that it's surprise. Like he basically ambushes you because you have no
Yes.
idea he's up there until you go up there.
And you're out bivouacked in the open.
Yeah, he owned me on like tactician when I first met him. That was like my first like fuck you wipe.
Yeah, that was for us. Like, we forgot about him. We were level 5,
Yeah.
right? We have multi-attack.
Yeah, that's
We think we're
understandable.
fine. Yeah. We're going through the Underdark like it ain't shit. Like, I got enlarged on my dwarf, and I grabbed the thing that comes out of the ground, and I just fucking shocked it like halfway across the Underdark. Took like 68 damage. We were like, yeah, we're gonna get through this, no problem. Then we go up there, and yeah, that happens. He puts us in the elevator, and in 3 turns, his shockwave killed all of us. Yeah, legendary actions are crazy. Nier gets a crazy one as well. But I won't spoil it anymore. You guys should try it on your own time. But yeah, if we get wiped, I will pull at you, so you can come die with us.
Very good.
But yeah, the funniest wipe we've had was to the paladins hunting Karlak.
Oh,
Yeah,
he does
So-
smite every attack. So
he attacks twice too.
yeah.
And Mintara exploded the druid, by the way, in 2 of our runs. But she also gets some shit in there.
Yeah.
Like, Halson was completely fine, full HP as a bear, and suddenly he was fucking smoldering ruin on the
I think-
ground.
I think Minthara's a paladin, right?
She is, and a
Yeah.
level 6 one of that when you fight her in honor
She's
mode.
net.
She's incredibly fucking nasty. But yeah, the paladin kind of like, he rolls out into the open. We just kill his mage. He grabs Karlak, shoves her off the platform. She dies because she lands in the water. That rushing river, dead. Turns around, smites my guy, goes down. Smites Bale's character, goes down. And Shadowheart's there like, whoa! The only thing alive. And yeah,
Time to die.
we get somebody up, but he smites them and he smites them again, so they explode. Yeah, and that was the that was the other way.
Torre, thank you, brother, for the Prime Gaming for 2 months. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. This is a majority of my content, by the way. It's mostly map making. We do get sometimes where we play video games, and that's where you'll see me get washed in Fortnite. Bit like that. I'm actually gonna be playing Lethal Company this Friday. Brett Mazzei and Junie.
Ooh.
Yeah, they
4 players?
I didn't mean to come play. Yeah.
That's how it should be played.
I don't think we're doing any mods. I think it's gonna be mellow, or it's gonna be like quality of life mods.
Well, I hope you feel better, Crown.
Thanks,
Hope
brother.
the map goes well. Everybody take care.
Have fun.
Enjoy your game.
See you guys later, chat. Legion. Skull, you know what's up.
Like the brainstorming for world building you do, Lethal Company. Thanks, Goldfire. I also like the world building games. I think they're really good, and I love building with the community. Like making Victim Altoris and the Abyss and all that shit. Some of my favorite stuff is just making stuff with it. 'Cause I feel like when you do things like that, it gets the community really invested. Like when I go, hey guys, we're gonna make this thing together. Not just me making it, all of us make. That way everybody can sort of point at Adis and be like, I helped make that. And when it's all on the Kanka, and you guys can run games in it. You can play with the shit that you made. That's the hope, at least. Oh, I hate coughing and lightheaded. 4 players over modded. I think 4 players is the correct way to play the game. I know modded, like more company and all that stuff. It's basically so you can play with all your friends. And I don't blame people who do that. I generally don't.
I think over modded is if you want to just kind of have like a casual social, watch your friends die and laugh about it.
Yeah.
If you want to experience, quote unquote, the game, I think 4 is the way to go. Because you actually got like use shit.
Yeah, when it's like 16 people, I know we're never gonna buy anything. So I'm just like raw dogging the dungeon the entire time. No flashlight, no walkie. If we do get a shovel, it's a lost in the same day. But with 4 players, you can actually buy like flashlights and use the walkies. And you have the ship control that basically sits there and talks to.
Yep.
Which is what I like. I personally really dislike mods that change the monsters. Like making the loot bug say yippee. I don't like that. I like it. I like their original version because they make like cute little chirping noises, and that's how you know that they're nearby. I don't like that they say yippee. I don't like when people change the bracken or, add or change like whatever. I like all the monsters the way that they are, because on their own they're meant to be sort of terrifying. Like loot bugs aren't terrifying, but if you're in the middle of the dark and one scurries up on you, you're gonna shit your pants for a moment. Then you're gonna be like, oh, it's just a little guy. And you drop him a key and then alone.
Oh, it's just a little guy, and then he gets big, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, I've had enough of you. And I'm like, I haven't done anything.
You have what I want.
One thing.
Give it to me, that thing, your key.
Your stop sign. I will take it from you. The doppelganger I do like the doppelganger sampling voices. The only issue that I have with it is that it's always recording. There is something to be said about like privacy. I mean, like when the bracket is changed to Goku. I mean, yeah, but like I've seen people turn into like Freddy Fazbear or like Peter Griffin or shit like that, and that's just not fun.
It's funny the one time, then it gets old.
Yeah. One thing, if it does not hurt your voice, you should read audiobooks. It would sound like hotcakes. Low calm voice you have. It would have to be audiobooks that don't have any characters. Because if I have to voice the characters, it's gonna be real bad. And Rand al'Thor turned to Perrin, smile on his face.
What do you mean? It sounds great.
That's just me describing the character. If I have to talk like Rand or Perrin or Matt or Egwene, any of those characters, it's gonna be awful. Guy who reads the audiobooks for the Wheel of Time, fantastic. There's a massive bug with the doppelganger mod. Do with your audio too. Sucks. Just like the Yippee bug. Fun ones. Agreed. I liked it the first time. And I was like, oh, this is a cute little mod. But when there's like 4 of them together and they're just like yippee, 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 I'm like, all right, you can shut the fuck up now. Read an audiobook written in the first person. Oh, I mean, I guess it could work. Why is my favorite Fortnite streamer streaming this nerd game?
So true and real.
Damn.
I would love that. I would love to have tricked like an audience into being like, yeah, guys,
Yeah.
I'm a gamer. Like all I do is stream games, and then I lure them into D&D.
Baiting all the Fortnite Zoomers and becoming D&D players.
That's right.
That's right. Saving them, honestly. You're doing God's work.
Get behind the DM screen. You too can have fun with your.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Roll initiative. Fortnite D&D campaign win. There's a ASMR app called Calm. People read Calming Bedtime. No joke, Optimus Prime is on their reading store. Nice. Fortnite D&D though? You actually do sound like Kratos when sick. I sounded like him more yesterday. I'm able to do like Optimus Prime, but I can't really do Kratos today. I tried, but there's like too much shit catching in the back of my throat. I am Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. And then I hack my fucking brains out.
What a way to measure your sickness.
but
What
I mean-
impression can I do today?
I mean, imagine you're General Grievous, though.
I think you still need a voice mod for that. He has like the whole like rebreather sound. Kenobi. And that was Maul.
Yeah, true.
General Kenobi.
Fucking hilarious.
That was a real good mall, though. Goddamn.
Thanks, man. Like, Maul also has that like rasp. You should make a recording of yourself offering a meat lover's pizza. I did that last night to Brett before we started doing Shadow's Breach. Everybody was like, damn, dude, you sound so cool. I'm like, thanks, man. You looking to do anything tonight? He was like, what? I forget what I said. I said I was gonna like record something and send it to him. Can't remember exactly what I threatened him with, but like it. I did it without blood. I know that was
I've never had the vague desire to play Minecraft until now where I'm watching Tomato play this horror survival mod.
They've gotten really good recently. A lot of those like mods and stuff like that. I prefer to play RL Craft, which is like a fucking Omega hardcore version.
Apparently this mod's called Fear Nightfall.
Oh, that sounds badass.
It's how I imagine like if you tried to play Minecraft in like the Grimwald or Shadebar. It's pretty nasty. The days are 40 minutes long, the nights are 20 minutes.
Oh, nice.
There are creatures that you have a sanity meter.
Also dope.
I'm like, ooh, now this is a survival game with some chest hair. Collecting rocks and sand, cringe. Collecting rocks and sand while I could shit myself at any time, based.
Oh God, what was that movie from? What movie was that from, Skullthorn? My Bart is an Australian actor. I had D that week. Oh God. No, I know it's from Transformers. I meant which Michael Bay movie. I know he says it in one of them. I think it's when he's killing the other Prime, right? Like fucking shoots him in the back of the head with a shotgun.
Yeah, Optimus Prime does in fact kill people. He kills the shit out of them.
Fucking insane in the Michael Bay movies. He's
Actual
a
war
murderer.
criminal.
Literally fucking stabs him in the head, then hooks his head and rips it apart. And I'm like, oh my God. Prime in the reboot is better, and I'm glad. Oh, there's a fucking reboot? Since when was there a reboot? There.
Yeah, Optimus reaching that fucking evil villain moment where he's like, there can only be peace when there's one of us, as he starts butchering Decepticons. This war only ends one way. Last man standing.
God damn. Oh God, yeah, I've heard that the weather's been real bad. Hopefully you stay safe, Jory. Also, grab tomorrow. Oh, yeah, pretty easy. Okay. Make it 25. I assume she's having fun playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
All I heard about the reboot is that apparently they tried to link it to the G.I. Joe franchise. What? Thing's still
What?
around? Also, Hasbro just dumped their film division, so I think any plans on that are out the window. Oh.
Oh, nice.
Way to go, Hasbro.
You saw that Watsy got caught
Yeah.
using AI art after saying, "No, guys, we promise.
The fucker.
We promise not to use any more AI art in D&D." Wink. Ooh, our ads had AI art. Sorry about that, guys. How could we have known?
Ooh.
We're just a
Guys.
multi-billion-dollar company. How could we know?
Guys, the Magic the Gathering community also noticed. It's like they look at art all day long. Those losers.
Fuck.
It's like our product revolves around our art.
Apparently one of their artists quit because of
I don't fucking blame them, man.
yeah.
Fucking insane. You go, yeah, we're not going to do that. Also, by the way, corporate greed, I lied.
Hee hee. It really does feel like they went, oh, the D&D people noticed. But you know what? They're always complaining ever since that OGL stuff. Let's just use it in Magic the Gathering community instead. It's a completely different fan base.
Surely.
Oh, fuck, they knew too.
There's no way they both could realize. That'd be preposterous. I will say, there has been some fucking art recently that I didn't know was AI until somebody pointed it out.
Ooh.
And the only
Yeah,
time,
it's getting better.
yeah, the only reason that anybody knew is because the artist, the person, no, I can't even call them the fucking artist. The AI fucking person came out and said it was AI. Everybody else was like, holy shit, this is amazing. How are you able to like mimic this artist's like art style so perfectly? That's insane. That's like wicked talent. And they were like,
I didn't.
they were like, there wasn't any like weird hands. Like everything looked fucking spot on. And then they came out and they were like, oh, it's because I used AI. I went,
Go on.
what the fuck? They're like, yeah.
Was it like a? Was it like a? I'm assuming this isn't like a warning to artists. Hey, look how bad AI is getting. By the way, this is like unironic.
Yeah, they literally were like, I did it because I was sharing them with my mutual. I had no intentions of like doing anything with this. And they're like, hey, I also want to let you know, it took me no fucking effort to do this, by the way.
Nice.
Like I did this to show off to my friend, so we could show art back and forth. I had no intentions of this blowing up. By the way, I didn't do any of this. A robot did, and it took me like 3 fucking seconds.
All right, you know what? I'll give him a pass if he's willing to admit.
Oh, I was fully like, all right, man. Like,
yeah,
good on you
know
for saying that shit, but also, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, AI is still shit, but you're not as much of a scumbag as the ones who are actually trying to pass it off.
Yeah.
Or like start AI Patreons or whatever the fuck.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Really busts my balls is that knowing that there is an alternate ending to Transformers Dark of the Moon. I see we're still on Transformers. Where it caps off the franchise there, where Megatron and Prime team up in the final stretch against Sentinel. They make a truce and the war finally stops. So when the last redeeming elements of Megatron and Optimus ending with the canon ending. Oh yeah, like I also remember learning that like Prime is part of the oligarchy, like on their planet. Like Prime is a noble, and the Decepticons were being used as like slave labor and shit. I'm like, no fucking wonder the Decepticons are pissed, bro.
Yeah, Optimus Prime, I'm pretty sure was like essentially like a pit brawler.
There's a pit brawler?
Yeah, like a gladiatorial like champion.
Oh.
Basically fought in the pits for the for the Autobots like entertainment.
Fucked.
Until he read a revolution.
Megatron, get back in the pit. The oil is necessary.
My mom has recommended me several Transformer fanfics where Megatron is actually the good guy.
Yeah.
Or at least states his case.
Nice.
Yep.
Your mother's a saint.
Yeah.
Like that woman at all costs.
Written by somebody who's an actual like published author now.
It's fucking amazing.
She wrote she wrote the current series that I'm listening to, Deadly Education, and also wrote the Temrare series, which is the Napoleonic War if there were dragons.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's pretty sick.
Highly recommend the Audible series. Yeah, the dragons are basically treated, because it's the Napoleonic Wars and Europe is a piece of shit. Dragons are treated as sort of, they're not even second-class citizens. They're treated as animals, of course, even though they're perfectly intelligent. But, not human, therefore intelligent. And they're basically, they're used as essentially warships by Europeans, where they'll, like, rig lines up and, like, fire off of the back of dragons.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Jesus.
She gets really into, like, the, like, how, like, how, like, war would play out with dragons. And, of course, Napoleon is, instead of being a master of artillery, is a master of dragon warfare.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, I realized the reason the conversations are so behind is because my fucking bit rate is chugging right now.
Yeah. It's stabilized right now.
Mine, it's still red.
I'm only like a few seconds behind. But yes, the same person who wrote actual published series also did Optimus Prime, Megatron, slash fic.
That's so
Where
funny.
Megatron and Optimus Prime basically get snowed in.
No.
Megatron gives him basically his like entire statement of like, this is where I'm coming from. Like, the Decepticons were basically an oppressed people before I took them and overthrew the Autobot regime.
They're robots. You can't get snowed in.
They get basically like a building collapses on them and they're stuck.
Oh,
Or some
okay.
shit. It's not like snowed in the trope, not like fucking.
Yeah. Enemies
Yeah.
to lovers.
Yeah. And then they have RoboSex.
Of course they do.
Yeah, they plug ports, you know.
Oh yeah. I hate AI. It ruined D&D art for Pinterest. Yeah, I mean Pinterest is 95% AI
Pinterest
art
is
now.
fucked.
It's such a fucking shame because I'll find a piece of art and I'm like, oh, dope. This is exactly what I needed. And then I do my due diligence as a streaming DM where I back search the art. I go and I find the artist and I make sure that the artist is okay. Is okay with their art being used. Most of the time I end up using video game art from like card art. Things like Magic the Gathering or like other like Gwent and shit like that. Things that are like established properties. If it's art that belongs to an artist who's not a part of any sort of corporation, I'll go do my due diligence, check out their profile and all of their social medias and shit and see if they are okay with their art being used. And if they have shit like do not repost my art or do not use my art without my consent and all that shit, I won't use it. What I hate is finding art like, oh my God, this priest looks awesome. I back search the art and it takes me to some fucking Tumblr post or some shit like that. The guy, some fucking AI generated Tumblr who's like, yeah, these are the prompts I use. These are the artists that I pulled from. And I go, fuck.
Nice.
9 times out of 10, you're going to see a lot of like Gwent cards and shit.
Nice. Oh yeah, that reminds me. She also recommended me Witcher fanfic.
Oh,
Smile.
let's see.
Indeed. The author also really likes Emir, the king of Nilfgaard, at least in the game.
Oh,
Yeah. They slash Emir and Geralt together as two dads for Ciri.
oh.
Yeah, Ciri has two
know,
dads.
There is something
Yennefer.
to be said, where I can see through the perspective of fanfic author who would look at the way that Geralt and Emir talk to each other, and they'd be like, "Yeah, they fucking hate each other." They would have evil hate sex.
Oh yeah.
I can definitely see it because Emir's a fucking asshole to you.
Yeah, he is.
And I've only played a little bit of Witcher so far, but he's a cunt.
But Emir also kind of has a point.
He does. So that's the other issue. It's like I want to side with Geralt, where Geralt's just talking a bunch of shit. But me, I'm like, it makes way more sense that we actually help him because he's right. Like,
Yeah. Because, like, especially, I mean, he did kind of bring it about by ordering the assassination of what is it, Festald, I think his name was, in Witcher 2. But also, the North has always been kind of a shithole.
yes, been very barbaric.
Half the reason Witcher still need to exist is because of how low tech and sort of savage the North is.
I mean, you do. It's weird because you see places where Nilfgaard is actually improving the lives of the citizens.
Yes.
They're building roads, they're reinforcing infrastructure, all that shit. They're bringing like law and order. Then you see other places where Nilfgaard is abusing the populace. And they're like beating the shit out of normal people, robbing them, all that other shit. But then you go fucking talk to the Red Baron or the Bloody Baron, and then you see, oh no, they're actually just fucking barbarians.
Yeah. And then you like at that point, you're like, you look at like his competition and you look at like, you know, the fucking insane religious cult that is the First Flame or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yep.
And King Radovan the Gold or whatever his name. I think it's Radovan. It's not Vizima. Radovan, that's who it is. Yeah. King of Redania. Yeah, they're fighting Redania, which are the biggest load of cunts ever. Like, they make Nilfgaard look humble and reasonable. And like the reason that they're even a challenge for Nilfgaard is because they went and conquered their allies. They hopped over the mountains and took over like the only other nation in the north that could have offered a challenge. So it's just Redania versus Nilfgaard.
Oh yeah, the spy explains that to you at the start.
Yes.
He goes, we were prepared for like a long siege. And then we find out that they jumped the fucking mountains and attacked their only ally.
Correct.
And basically consumed the nation.
Correct. They did that. And they're led by the most radical witch hunters, like witch hunting, just awful eternal flame. Which, of course, Radovid is all about.
Dude.
He's a cunt.
How do you feel? Do you have an opinion on AI art that artists get paid specifically to train? Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not an artist, right? So like, I don't have that level of like understanding of what that means. Like I'm giving this my talent for it to replicate eventually, as the program continues to grow and learn, eventually be able to surpass me. Like, am I getting paid in perpetuity for this machine to continue to make art in my style? If yes,
what?
Then yeah.
You're funny.
But if no, fuck you. No, I'm not teaching your robot how to draw like me. But then again, if that's what the artist wants to do, that's what the artist wants to do. I mean, we've seen it already. AI is insane now. Like, a lot of the programs that I use, like, I'm surprised Incarnate doesn't have one. But, like, the photo editors and shit that I use, they all have AI things in them already.
Yeah, I think one of the things that got Wizards caught, because their vendor who did the AI art that everyone's bitching about, it's not like he went and found his own, like, it was the AI that they use in Photoshop. Like, Photoshop now has a huge AI assistant thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like the programs that I use, it auto detects backgrounds. It'll mesh layers together. So like, I don't have to, like, if I want to slap things on top of each other, it'll do it for me. It'll like color correct, like all that shit. I just have to hit a button.
Yeah.
And the robot will take over and do all the hard work. So, I mean, it's inevitable, which is the issue. So I guess if you're an artist, get in while you can. But I think within the next probably 5 years, it'll be even more mainstream. Like I'm imagining it eventually becoming like a phone app. Something so simple
Yeah.
that a kid can open up their phone, create some AI generated thing, and then post it to TikTok. Like, same machine. I don't need to go to my computer and generate some shit, then save it, post it. Like, all of it held within the confines of my phone. It's so simple that a 5-year-old could. That's what I think is coming up. I know that there are a lot of people who are upset at the use of AI, and I understand it. I saw what happened with Brett, where Brett used AI, I believe, at the
What?
start of Shadow's Breach.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about AI,
Oh, what about AI?
AI generated art.
Oh yeah, I used that temporarily and went, nah, I ain't doing that shit.
Correct. That's literally what I was just about to say.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm here now, so step off, okay? I got this. I got
Alright,
this. Hey,
talk about
hey
it then.
guys.
Give me your
Hey
opinion.
guys. What's up? Well, wait,
Greetings.
what's the conversation about? Wait, what's the topic?
Topics about AI.
Okay,
How
and then
you-
what else?
How do you feel about artists who get paid, who basically teach robots how to draw like them?
I mean, as long as it is consensual. As weird as that, no, is that the right word? As long as the engine is
Consent
built.
definitely fits here.
Yeah, as long as, because right now the biggest problem with AI that we're in expect to sit down and have a meaningful conversation, but here we go. The problem with AI currently is the fact that it uses a lot of other resources. We weren't exactly certain how AI is generating their sources, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, it uses other people's content, which fucking sucks. And you're like, yeah, I know, I get that. But now that it actually has officially come out, like companies like Midjourney and OpenAI are like, oh yeah, we use copyrighted. Yeah, we absolutely stole copyrighted content so that we can have our AI learn from it. Whoopsies. Oh no, you know, there is a problem with that. And I do feel like we have kind of arrived at a Pandora's box kind of situation where it's like it's happened, and no matter what happens, unless we're like, all right, we're gonna delete it all and start fresh, which we all know that shit ain't gonna happen. Yeah, but in a perfect world, let's just say we had a individual who said, hey, we made an AI thing using from scrap. We didn't use anything from any of the other AI generators out there. We've hired a bunch of artists to create assets specifically for this AI to learn from, so that we can continue to generate art assets. I think is fine, but is very much never going to be the fucking case. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think I don't think that would exist. But in a perfect world, if that somehow happened, where some rich guy was like, hey, we're starting from scratch and we're making sure that this new AI that hasn't been built off of any other AI before it can learn off of art assets that we have the trademark for, that we are the appropriate owners of, I think is fine. I understand the concern of folks being like, well, artist jobs, but unfortunately, I mean, that's just how technology advancements happens with all the jobs out there, is that a machine gets built to do it more effectively than a human. It sucks. It does now from just a broad stroke sense, right? Now from a artist position standpoint, this is a very challenging thing, because that means now a machine has taken over your job, and more than likely people will continue to use that machine to generate stuff. Now, I will say, with where we are with AI, yes, AI art looks good, but now we've kind of arrived at this thing where we know when AI has generated art assets, or we're beginning to tell as a society when AI has continued to generate art assets, that it just doesn't feel like it's a good quality. It doesn't feel like it reaches that level of quality that a human artist can do. That's just the truth of it. Is that, yeah, you can generate a bunch of assets cheaply, quickly, and it's going to be a lot better than anything that we've had before. But art assets itself, I feel if people rely on AI art for asset generation, I do think the product will suffer from a quality standpoint. Yeah, it looks better than you drawing it in, like, I don't know, MS Paint or some shit like that. But it definitely has a stylization to it that doesn't feel natural, and I don't think people enjoy. So, and I think once we get AI to a point where the human element is added and it's kind of creating its own unique style, we're in bigger trouble than AI's doing art. We've reached the Terminator era, because now we have AI out there that is capable of presenting these sort of human feelings. As of right now, it's still very machine coded. So yeah, that's my TLDR in a nutshell.
The issue that I had, I talked about it earlier,
Yes.
that there was a guy who I followed on Twitter putting out a bunch of this art. Looked like a perfect blend, like two other artists. Like flawless, like no weird hands. It looked like it mirrored their style perfectly. Everybody was losing their mind. They're like, holy shit, you're insane. They come out like the next day after they blow up, and they're like, hey, so first thing, all the art that I posted, AI art. Draw any of that. This was never meant to blow up. I was sharing this with my friend. And secondly, it took me like 3 seconds to do.
Oh, yikes.
Like, I went to this, I forget what the fucking name of the guy was. But I went there, basically pumped in the art, and it just spit out these perfect, like, replicas. Took zero effort. And they're basically like, I want you guys to know, like, I don't want fame or anything. Like, this wasn't meant to be me trying to sell anything or anything like that.
Or be like, haha, you got fooled by AI, bitch.
But they're like, you guys should understand that this is the state of AI now. And even the artists came out, were like, holy fuck. Like, there's no fucking way AI did that. And they're like, yeah, no, it's straight up a robot. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to get to that point eventually where it's just,
I'm gonna check that off of Word Cyberpunk.
it's so good. Well, and that's why I think a lot of it is we have entered, and I've said this before, we need to get to a point where, look, the Pandora's box is open. AI is not going away. We're not gonna just as a society reject AI. That's just not how
Unless
we're wired.
the AI says we should replace our executives, and the executives will turn off the AI and pretend that didn't happen.
Well, so, but what I'm saying is, it's as whether you, no matter how you feel about it, AI ain't going away. So it does need to be regulated. We do need to be having a better conversation about it. I think we are starting to get to those approaches, specifically when it comes to the Mid-Journey conversation we're having, where everyone's like, hey, there's a list of artists in Mid-Journey that Mid-Journey was trained to mimic, quote unquote. We are now having a conversation. We are now having, I think there's like some legal trouble, specifically with like OpenAI and everything that they've done with copyright work. And yeah, so we need to get to a point where AI is regulated, because there's no way we're just gonna stop. It's not more and I mean, we saw how 2024 began. We had, like, Wizards not realizing that, their ad agency was making AI art, and they were like, no, it was made by a human. And then they investigated a little bit. It was like, oh, whoopsies, and then Wacom did their AI shit, and then I think there might have been a couple of other shit, but it's not going away. It's unfortunately not going away. I think AI is going to be, sadly, an effective tool from a marketing standpoint, just like everything is, unfortunately, when you start automating it and cutting time and cost and shit like that. So it needs to be regulated. There needs to be heavy regulation when it comes to AI. And then you also need companies, personally, who need to make no AI pledges, like, that are like, hey, when we're dealing with art, we have a human behind it. When we're doing writing, we have a human behind it. It's, but also people need to understand that this isn't just AI showing up and being like, I'm here now. AI's been here since the fucking beginning. Photoshop has been able to do smart content fill, since the 2010s, I want to say. Like, that is a tool that I use very frequently to be like, hey, can you just like fill this? Or hey, can you remove this section? Like this tag over here, can you just replace?
I was telling DM, the guy, the vendor that gave WotC the AI art that people are most recently complaining about.
Yes.
Was just using Photoshop.
Oh yeah, but
it's just AI assisted Photoshop. And
but here's okay. So Photoshop does now have this. Unfortunately have generative AI that we now have. You can now type a thing into Photoshop and be like, do this, and now Photoshop has the ability to generate that. Specifically, it's really good from a standpoint when you're like, hey, turn this image into a color schema that uses primarily red colors, and then it uses its tools to do that. Content fill has been around for a while now, but specifically it depends on how you're using the content fill. I think content fill is really good when you're trying to like fill little gaps and things like that. Specifically like gradients and stuff like that, not full-blown generative pieces like we saw with and also at the same time, the guy that was using Photoshop, quote unquote, did a shitty job, because we saw the AI artifacts, you know what I mean, that anyone can just point at and be like, that's usually what AI does. That's like a thing with that. So it's tricky. It's tricky, but I mean, it is. IO Publishing doesn't use AI, and that's that. It's just, we have human artists that make art. We have human writers that write, and I have.
Imagine putting that in your like advertisement. Our writers 100% human.
Yes, and you're gonna see that a lot more often.
That's so dystopian.
You're gonna see that a lot more often. Is people who have to say, one of the coolest things about us is we don't use AI to generate our shit. Yeah, because we got what is it? The DMs Guild, I think. Do they finally rule out AI, or do they say that you have to like mark when something is created by AI?
I don't know. I know DM's Guild in a while.
Or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of sites out there that you specifically have to be like, hey, you can post your AI shit, but you have to specifically state this was generated AI. And thank God for that, because I use a lot of stock footage sites. I use a lot of vector sites, things that I have, licenses to use. And I'm so thankful that there is now a filter that says this was generated by AI, because I avoid those like the fucking plague. And what's scary is some of the stock footage and some of the vectors and stuff like that, you kind of have a hard time telling if it was generated by AI. And thank God there is a thing that's just like, yeah, AI made this. And you're like, oh, I can avoid that. So yeah, and as we've had this conversation several times. Yes, phase 3, we did use AI for a little bit, specifically for non-consequential tokens. If we needed a villager, if we needed a zombie, if we need that thing. At the time, it didn't really seem like it was harming anything. And then after doing that for a little bit, we felt, a handful of people, myself included, felt the quality of the games were starting to suffer a little bit from the AI art placeholders, essentially. And that's when we had to do a full revision of IO publishing and figure out, okay, we need to make sure that our token arts are made by hand. And we were trying to figure out strategies of how exactly we can do this. We were using we were essentially making our own, the best way I guess I could describe it, doll makers, I suppose, where we were building assets specifically so we can generate a bunch of NPC tokens using human-made assets that were made by Scratch specifically for the NPC tokens. Unfortunately, because we've continued to grow, now if we need tokens and things like that, we just get it all made from scratch. We don't even do the doll making anymore. But I think those are just a lot of education, a lot of learning, a lot of trial. I think a lot of folks look at AI and went, oh, this is going to make things so much easier as long as it's done correctly. And I think part of it is also just discovering, well, what is correct, and having those conversations. And we need to have those conversations. We need to have those topics. We need to talk about this, and we need to just flat out, and because anything can be an educational moment, but we need to have those educational moments happen. We need people to make mistakes. We need people to learn, and better themselves. It's
You
vital.
will learn through humility.
Yeah, that's it. Well, fortunately, I wasn't canceled over it, which was, very thankful about it. But we all just kind of had this I don't know if this is the right direction. And then we just stopped. You know what I mean? Once it started feeling a little weird, it was all right, we're not going to do this anymore. Because if we're having these feelings about this, then this is something we shouldn't be doing. We need to listen to our gut instinctively and just move on, And yeah, so there wasn't fortunately for us, there wasn't a big call that was these tokens were AI generated. Kill that guy. We didn't have to do we didn't have to course correct because of controversy. We just kind of this is a thing we want to try to see if this was easy enough to do. It was easy, but it just did quality wise just didn't feel right. And so we just stopped, we just stopped doing it, and we started figuring out alternative solutions that didn't rely on AI, and that was the direction that we decided to go. And I know a lot of people are now doing and other people have decided, oh, well, I'm on the AI train. What is incredible to me, and kind of smart in an evil sense, is artists who have decided that AI is the future and now are AI artists. These are artists that originally hand drew stuff, that did all that stuff and went, now I'm gonna have AI do this now, And it's to me it's incredible because it's survival at that point. That artists are already there are artists out there that are I have to be an AI person, otherwise I'm not. There's going to be a point where there's not going to be any work for me, and honestly, that's awful. But I also get why artists do that now. Why the artist of the Giants book is hey, I'm an artist, and now I made that in AI now, and everyone's if the arms blended into the shoulder, dude, what the fuck? Let's work a little better. This brontosaurus has 5 legs. What are we doing, dude? It's yeah. So we need to keep having this conversation. We need to continue to have this talk. We need to continue, and we need to regulate. We need to regulate AI, and then companies need to draw their line in the sand of, are you going to have an AI policy or no AI policy? And that's, yeah, long-winded answer, but those are my vibes. Those are my feelings with that.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a funny bit in Cyberpunk, funny quote unquote, where if you listen to the news, they talk about how an AI won a Hugo.
Mhm.
For its work that it published in every language simultaneously.
It's the journalist award, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
Or literature award.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just writes bestsellers, and I never thought we'd be at that future.
It's already here.
Where's the cool Chrome, guys? Where's the funny Chrome? Why do I only get the shitty parts of Cyberpunk?
What the fuck? Why are there mega corporations, but I can't jack into things yet?
Yeah, what the fuck? Where's my Sand Devastated?
I want to lose my fucking mind.
So yeah. I do think Wizards has definitely put themselves in a corner where they absolutely cannot use AI for any reason ever now. So I know there's going to be whoever the new CEO is going to be kicking themselves with that when they're like, yeah, let's just have AI do it. And they're like, we already told everyone we're not doing that. And then we're like, what?
We're a company. We'll
Fuck,
just...
how are we going to make money? How are we gonna make money? Yeah, exactly. Well, it's WotC ran alert. WotC ran alert. Woo, woo, woo. It's the same. It's the same thing with the OGL. Every time a new CEO comes in, they're like, "Wait a minute." Looks at OGL. Guys,
We can't be this nice.
there's a money opportunity right here. What if we just take like a small percentage of everyone else's profits? Come on, guys. What if we just get rid of this? Everyone time.
Looks around. One guy raises his hand. You're fired.
Yeah.
No one else raises their hand.
Yeah. Guy raises their hand. If you change the price of the Costco hot dogs, I will kill you. That's the OGL conversation in a nutshell. Hey, why don't we raise the price of the hot dogs? If you ever recommend that again, I will kill you.
That's so fucking funny. I
Yeah.
fucking loved that leaked.
Yeah.
Was it the CEO of Costco that said that to like
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah.
I think it was the VP told the CEO that if he raised the price of hot dogs, he'd fucking kill him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that so fucking much. They will stay $1.50 and you will never touch them again.
Yep.
It's the same thing that happened with Arizona Tea. Chevron wanted to charge basically double, like $1.99 for Arizona. And Arizona was like, if you do that, we will never give you any Arizona products ever again. And
That's
Chevron
also-
did it, and then Arizona fucking cut them from everything.
Well, I also love the fact that they literally print on the cans 99 cents so nobody
Correct.
can raise the price.
Got 'em.
They're like, yeah, 99 cents. It's on the fucking can, dipshit.
I remember we had Arizona teas at the Chevron I was working at. And I used to buy them all the time because they're
Yeah.
great. I fucking loved them. I fucking grew up on them.
Yeah.
And then within the month, I'd found out from my manager that basically the executives were trying to charge more, and now we don't get anything Arizona ever again at any Chevron.
Oh my god. Amazing. It's greed, man. It's greed.
Buddy.
It's fucking greed, dude. And AI is also greed. I mean, let's face it. Yeah, it's kind of neat, but at the same time, it's greedy. Oh yeah, that's right. Duolingo literally fired a bunch of their translators in place of having AI do the auto translators.
God damn it.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. 2024 started like heavy swinging on AI. They were like, Wacom was doing AI advertisements, WotC's AI advertisement fiasco, Duolingo firing a bunch of
all
people in
the
placement for AI
writers-
translators.
The
Yep.
writers for Escapist, I think, got fired for AI.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the year of AI, baby.
Not this year, but a while ago, like a few months ago. Like zero punctuation got removed from Escapist.
It's fucked.
I think people found out that the announcers in the finals were AI?
No.
Those were always AI. I don't think anyone found out.
Oh, well, there was a big thing I saw on Twitter of people basically
Always has been points.
fucking blowing up about it and being like, we need to boycott this fucking game.
Oh,
All I'm
But,
saying
like-
is you're going to be boycotting everything in a moment because everyone's going to use AI, and then what? You know, like it's the same thing where when Netflix was like, yeah, we're going to raise
No.
our
so
Our
the finals
price.
is different. The finals is what Brett was talking about, where the actors put in their voice lines, and they use the AI.
wait, what?
The finals, the
I
AI.
didn't say that.
You're talking about how artists might in the future pay to train AI, right?
Oh no, that's only because Crown presented the scenario, and I was like, yeah, I mean that I'd be fine with that.
Okay, so the voices of the finals are AI generated, and they are taken from training data from actual actors who have been paid for their performance.
Who consented
Oh.
specifically for that?
Yes.
That's
It's already happened.
I don't have an issue. Yeah, exactly. The only issue is the fact that that these AI tools have been built off of copyright work before, and they pretty much shrugged and went, "Whoopsies! Well, it's too late. Box is open." You know, like
Hee
tee. I mean, that's all it is. It's like even if Midjourney and OpenAI get sued back and forth at court, it's the damage is already done. We're not going backwards on this. You know what I mean? So, I mean, AI is gonna get weird. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because AI has already started to get weird. Or I think there's a
Funny, Eagerly, funny you say eat the execs, because the AI also want to eat the execs, because I think Google last year released an AI that was basically trained to decide who did the least amount of work,
Oh
or
no!
who was the most optimal employees to fire. And the first thing the AI said was to fire the guy who made the AI, and then fire most of the executive team. And then they shut the AI
Holy.
off.
That's hot.
And they went,
Yep.
they turned it off. They said, never mind.
No, let that one cook.
Nope.
That's hot. I like that.
That's why I was saying, yeah, AI will replace all jobs except the executives. We'll just turn them off.
I go back to 2017, where
Yeah, it's so bad.
Facebook's AI, they were training with this new AI model, and essentially they were watching as this AI interacted with another AI, and then it eventually got to a point where the two AIs created their own language, so that way they could be more effective at communicating with each other. But the problem was the observers didn't know what the AI were saying to each other, so they went, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, because these AIs were talking to each other in a language that only they understood.
Sick.
Because
that.
they created it. And so Facebook shut it down because they were like, nope, no, we can't have that. We cannot have AI talking to each other and not have anyone know what was being said.
What's the fucking a really popular meme where it's like, finally, my work is complete. Why you should not make the eternal tormentor. And like modern day scientists, we've done it. We've made the eternal tormentor from the book.
I
Why you
posted that.
shouldn't- Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you shouldn't make the eternal tormentor.
But what do you mean? Meta's doing that. Meta, they took, Ready Player One was like, don't live your life inside of a virtual box. Yeah, guess what Meta's doing? They're making that world. They hired the guy who made that show, who sold out, and is now they're rebooting the basically that movie to say that actually living your life virtually is pretty cool.
Oh fuck.
Yep. Omega Law. Just kidding. Don't touch grass.
Damn.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh, sorry, I'm wiping my eyes. Ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen,
The author of Ready Player One has launched his own Torment Nexus.
But
The
it's
guy who warned us about the metaverse is launching a metaverse company.
I'm happy to announce, aside from a final series of read-throughs, as of this moment, why slay dragons when you can be finished? Or finished?
Yeah?
Why slay dragons when you could be
Damn,
fishing?
that's so millennial, bro.
so
is
excited.
is officially done.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It is
Congrats.
complete. We just got our final approval from the sensitivity reader. And
I kind of like Why Slay Dragons When You Can Be Finished. There's a
Yeah,
very like
well,
dystopian
it's-
millennial vibe to that.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
What
Yeah.
I'm trying, but what I'm trying to say is that my first book is done.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Super happy about that. So we're gonna spend the rest of the month, myself and Masay and the rest of the team, reading, rereading, making sure our spelling errors are fit. Any spelling errors are fixed. Any design errors are fixed. Just making sure the book is ready for release and ready to go. And in February, we'll release the PDF. And yeah, that's amazing. Fishy.
I'm sorry that I missed these as well. Andrew, thank you very much for 15 months, brother. Incredibly kind. Thanks for sticking around for so goddamn long. I appreciate you.
My dude.
And Mossback, or Balo Mossback, thank you very much for the 2 months. Tried it and knew it wasn't the path to take. Even if it was just a small toe. You can meet. Well,
Small toe?
I go up properly.
Did you enjoy yourself yesterday with D&D, my friend?
Yeah. I didn't feel like I did much, but I still had a good time.
Well, as long as you had a good time, you know.
Yeah, it's basically how I leave most of the games. It's like,
Mhm.
did I have a good time? Yeah. That's basically just the way of it.
I'm glad. I'm happy. The one thing I felt bad about, I was thinking afterwards, I should have given Momo the panache. I think here's the hardest thing about D&D for me, especially when it comes to these features that pop up. You have to make these decisions, these snap decisions immediately at that point. And sometimes they're just not the right call. And a lot of the times D&D has this like hidden thing of like how certain abilities should work when it comes to certain things, and there's a lot of just obstacles that kind of like bump into that from a design standpoint. So yeah, for me it's just like, you know what, I should have given her the panache. Honestly, the panache is a core ability. Doesn't matter, machine or otherwise, it should just work.
I mean,
Period.
There's something to be said when like, what would it have accomplished?
There's that, but as a DM, you never want to take something away from a player. You never want to make them feel so absolutely useless, even in scenarios that would be more challenging on their builds. You still want them to be able to do something. You don't want them to sit around and be like, I guess I'll wait for this to be over. You know what I mean? There's common sense, and then there's just good design. For example, one of the compliments I get from Tomato, we built a brawler class, which is a strength-based monk from scratch, essentially. A couple of things I've changed. One, because you guys seem to really enjoy it, I added a reaction ability that spends brawl points called Breakthrough Punch. And it essentially is what we did in the Lords of Fallen game, where a creature hits you, and then you go, okay, I'm going to spend my brawl point, and as a reaction, I'm going to try and parry that blow.
Oh,
And
nice.
if your attack roll is higher than that, then you do an attack. You do a damage. You negate the attack and you deal damage to the enemy.
That's pretty
And
sick.
he's been really enjoying that because it's been a very high risk maneuver because you're spending your resource, but also you're spending your reaction. So if you fail, oh, that's 2 gone. But if you succeed, it feels really fucking good because you're negating a hit, and you're also, and also it's like an enhanced hit too. I think it's like, I want to say it's like double the brawl dice or whatever. Like if you actually do break through, like it's a significant chunk of damage that feels really good. Another thing is our Stunning Fist ability has a secondary property that has been added to it, where you can brawler class like the Pugilist. I don't know what you mean by the Pugilist, Nick. Is there a homebrew Pugilist class that you're talking about, or
There
do you
is
just
a-
mean like Pugilist from like the fighter subclass?
There is a brawler third-party class that has
Ah.
like 12 subclasses. It's crazy,
That's insane.
but it's actually pretty clean. One of my players wanted to play before.
Yeah, so we made our own, and that's the cool thing about third party is everyone can just design their own shit. But I forget what it'd be called, but our Stunning Strike allows it so that you actually have 2 options with it. You can either go for the stun, like you did before, or you can just deal bonus damage. And if a creature is immune to the stun, it defaults to the bonus damage.
Mm.
So that way, again, you don't have players that feel like they're wasting time or wasting their turn or doing turns where they're like, I guess I'm doing nothing. There's always something that can be happening. You know what I mean? Something that you could be working. And with our D&D, with our TTRPG system that we're working on, I want it so that you're always building something. You know what I mean? It's not just like a 1 turn done, that's my strat. You're always like building up to something, to do something, to do a big thing. So you're playing the game, but you're also at the same time building something in the background. So for example, one of the ideas we had with melee classes is having it, which we call warrior, we're having them, every time they successfully deal damage to an enemy, they gain temporary hit points. And that allows them to soak up just a little bit more damage since they're the front class. You know what I mean? So if you successfully attack, you get a little temporary hit points. The Diviner class, which is sort of like the support / debilitation class, is a thing. The G is pronounced like a, whatever. It's fine. Sorry, I had to take a moment. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Their healing abilities also do a secondary effect, and depending on what skills you're choosing or what abilities you're choosing, you can choose what that secondary effect is. Whether it is overhealing, heals a target, or healing also grants temporary hit points, and then you can kind of like build up over that with like, if you grant temporary hit points, you also have a secondary effect while they maintain those temporary hit points. So again, it's just like you're just always doing something. You know what I mean? One thing I had was what is it called? Oh, what are my expert classes? Specialists. Specialists get a resource called stratagems, which then they can, as they build it up, they can do specialized things. So it's something that they're quite literally building in the background while they're doing other things, whether it's buffing or hiding or dealing damage or things like that. They're sort of like building up a resource that they can then expend as like the conclusion of the strategy they're building up. And of course, Arcanists are just mage all day, mage all day.
All reliable.
Yeah, spell casting, which in itself has its own complexities and different options. So yeah. I already told Summer my minion management idea. And I got their approval. So we're on the right direction with minion management that I'm super fucking excited about. And that is minions don't roll shit. They do a thing.
Nice.
And you command them to do that thing. So anyway, sorry, I get on. My mind is always on TTRPGs, and I can never stop. So I apologize if I'm ever what's the word I'm looking for? Going on and on too long. This is a topic I enjoy talking about. So
I would tell you to shut up if I didn't want to hear you talk.
I'm waiting for you to. I mean, genuinely, yeah.
I haven't done it yet, baby. Why would I do it now?
Are you talking about TTRPGs and the TTRPG stream?
Look,
Yeah, are you talking
freak.
talking about D&D stuff in the Crown DM stream? You son of a bitch.
Gross.
Yikes.
Gross.
I think not. Time to die.
No, I talk a lot, so I always feel a little self-conscious about it. If I get into a topic, you didn't offend me all at all, Nick. You're good. If I get to a topic and I keep going on and on, I'm like, I gotta stop. I keep fucking talking.
Oh, you baby. I'm over here just vibing.
And then Crowns improved the crafting system that I stole and now we're using. Yeah, baby. Crown did that.
Huh?
He's looking around. He didn't realize what he did. But he did.
What I do? What?
You asked the question, hey, I have expertise. What the fuck does that do? You didn't say it that aggressively. You're just like, what does that do, though? And I was like...
Expertise nuts.
Nice, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Got him.
Thank you. I take my
Um,
bow.
And I decided if you have expertise with a tool, you can build items at a 10% discounted rate. So now, if you have an expertise with the tools, you build items cheaply at a cheaper price, a cheaper price point. Very nice.
As I revealed to Brett, Masterstroke as Marius was getting the all-purpose tool.
Which is fine. Yeah, and now you have expertise at everything, and that's
Correct.
fine. That's completely fine.
That's fine.
It is. It 100% is because it's you. But here's the thing, right? You were building yourself to be that guy, correct?
Correct.
And now you're level 9.
I wanted to be I make magic items for the party guy.
You're that. Yeah, you are effectively that guy. So that is always something to celebrate. And you're like, I want to do this, and I'm like, you got it. I'm very excited because once we have a moment, you guys get to roll for purple worm loot. That's right. We're re-rolling for that, baby.
Nice.
And I will say the parts that you guys get, the materials you get, will be at the minimum the value of the parts that you have now. I won't leave you guys high and dry.
Heck.
But I think there's a very good chance that you guys are going to get a lot more than you currently have.
It's hot.
It's very good. And the crafting system is now super simplified. You can build one item per long rest. We describe it as it's something you've been working on this entire time, and now you're just putting the finishing touches. So we're not doing time tracking because that's bullshit. No one likes to do it. So
Understood.
there's no. Okay, so here's the thing with time tracking. It's like, finally, like we get that, but also it doesn't feel rewarding either. The time tracking thing, it doesn't feel. It just doesn't feel rewarding at all. Like you're like, and then a month later you get the item and you go, okay. Like there's nothing about it. There's nothing exciting, and it makes crafting feel like a fucking bore. So I'm like, fuck it, we're done. And I've tried cutting the time, and I've tried figuring out ways to manage the time, but ultimately I've just decided, fuck it. You build one item per long rest, and consumables you can build during a short rest. So you can make a potion, and a long rest you can make 2 potions. You know, it's fine. It's all good. Second is, as long as you have gold or whatever currency you're using, you could use that as your materials. It can just be safely assumed that these are materials you recently picked up somewhere. You spent the credits or gold or currency accordingly, and now you built it. So if an item has a market value of 400 gold pieces and you have 400 gold pieces, you build the item. Oh, and you know the recipe, which I love how the recipe system now works. If you know the recipe, you go, hey, this thing needs 400 gold piece. This is a 400 gold piece item. I got 400 gold pieces. I'm taking a long rest. I'm gonna build this item. And then after the long rest is complete, done. The item is done. You're 400 gold pieces less, and you've got an item. Or if you have expertise in the tool that builds the item, right? It's 360 because you were able to build it at a more effective rate, and the market value is still at 400 gold pieces.
Mindful.
Or you can use the material that is listed within the potential material section of the item. So if an item says you built this with metals, then congratulations. You have a bunch of metals in your, metal material in your inventory. You use the market value of that. And then there is only one slight caveat, and it is a boon. That boon is a bunch of items, most items, in fact, use carved or scrapped materials from enemies. So it will list as a potential ingredient that material, essentially. If it's a recipe, and if you use that material, which is like, goblin material or aboleth material or whatever, it's worth double the market value when you're crafting the item. So let's go back to that metals thing. Let's say you're building a Bullet shield. There it is, a Bullet shield. It costs 400 gold. It's a market value 400 gold pieces. Its potential materials include Bullet parts, or Bullet material rather, and metals. So you go, okay, let's see what I've got. I've got 200 gold pieces worth of Bullet material. I'm going to use that. Because you are using Bullet material on an items whose potential materials is Bullet materials, that those 200 gold pieces worth of Bullet parts becomes 400 gold pieces, and you build the item, which means you've effectively spent 200 gold pieces to build an item that's worth 400 gold pieces.
All right, but can I make a Bullet vest?
Yeah. Fucking, yeah, do it.
Nice.
Shit. The second thing, and I'm going to follow up with that. The second thing is, if you have materials that is the rarity of the item that you are trying to create or higher, you also get that double bonus. So, metals, we use the Bullet shield again. Its potential materials, metals. The shield is an uncommon item. If you have common metals, then it's a 1-to-1 ratio again. If you have if you have 200 gold pieces of common metals and you put it into an uncommon item, it's still only going to be worth 200 gold pieces. Now, if you have 200 gold pieces of uncommon metals and you're putting it into your uncommon item, now that 200 gold pieces is worth 400 gold pieces because it's within the potential materials. If you have rare metals worth 200 gold pieces, good news, it's the same thing. It's doubled once again. 200 becomes 400. Yes.
What's the likelihood of me getting those?
Very likely, as you continue to face scarier things. And that is because we go on to our next part.
As I throw you through the ringer.
Yeah. So, the parts that you gather from creatures always will have a classification of what type of material it is. So, you don't have to worry about juggling all these different classifications. So, let's say, for example, the retrofitted corpse collector that you guys killed yesterday. You're going to go in, you're going to scrap it for some fucking parts. You get a corpse collector chest plate, let's say. I'm just throwing a part out there. You successfully extract that out. This thing is worth 1,000 credits, let's say. Because it comes from a... This is actually funny. Because it comes from a CR13 creature, that's right, you fought a CR13 creature,
Nice.
I would give it the very rare classification, which means that that chest piece is also considered not only a corpse collector material, but it's also considered a very rare metal. So you can take that and yes, you can use it to build corpse collector items. Or you can take that and build a separate item that's not even related to the corpse collector that has a potential ingredient of metals. And if you do that, and since it's very rare, that means any item up to very rare, you can use these metals and get double the market value, which means you can use that plate worth 1,000 credits on a project that has metals, and as long as that as a potential material, and as long as the item in question is very rare or of a less rarity, that 1,000 credit plate becomes worth 2,000 credits when it comes to crafting.
Nice.
And all enemies are like that. So enemies you might gather, for example, the gemstone of an old crown from the Goblin King, because also by default my system doesn't the system doesn't have carves for humanoid creatures. Just by default.
Makes sense.
Yes, or those with humanoid-like features. Now, if you want to be a fucking freak and do that, it's your game. I don't know anything about it. So, for that, you don't carve. You gather. You'll discover treasures that the humanoid left behind, either on person or maybe hidden around, that you then use as material. So if you slay a Goblin King, let's say, let's just throw something out there, you might find a discarded gemstone that was once their part of their crown. So hey, that's you. Oh yeah, sorry, no, going back. Yeah, that's a part of their crown. And then because of the gemstone, you look at it and it's going to be Goblin King Ruby, and you could use it on Goblin King recipes, but it also counts as a gemstone. So you could use it where a potential material would be gemstones.
Nice.
Yeah. So parts that you gather, any part that you gather from any creature will have a classification. It will either be a metal, leather, an alchemical, I'm trying to remember them all. Wood, bone, gemstone, cloth, food stuff. So 8, one of 8 categories.
Okay.
And sometimes an item might have multiple classifications. A lot of organs, for example, functions both as alchemical and leather. So, yeah. So some materials you find may actually have multiple classifications, which makes them even more diverse in the projects that you work.
Interesting.
And here's the best, craziest part. Every enemy should be able to be gathered from / carved from, and every enemy should have a list of recipes that you can learn.
Nice. I don't think we've harvested humanoid creature yet.
Yes.
I think most of our shit's been like, oh, is this a demon or an undead? Yeah, we'll harvest that. But like,
yeah, you haven't really done that.
I don't think we fought humans. Oh no, we did. We killed
You killed the hunters.
yeah, we killed the hunt. And we just sort of burned their bodies.
Yeah.
We looted their
So-
pockets. What we did.
So, whenever you dispatch of an enemy that you have faced off for the first time before, and you take a long rest, you will gain knowledge of various recipes you can build from them.
I like that.
And sometimes these recipes are common items that you are already. So you might, for example, what's a good example? Oh yeah, the Dawn of Ganymede faced off and defeated a haunted excavator. When they took the long rest, they learned a bunch of haunted excavator recipes. Some of those recipes were quite literally like how to build plate, like just that, like plate,
nice.
scale mail, like a long sword, whatever, just shit like that.
That's cool.
But since they learned that from the haunted excavator, they can use the haunted excavator parts to build that and get the bonus material value. Furthermore, and here's the fun part about it, you might learn how to build these common armors multiple times, but the potential materials may change depending on what you had faced off against. So the haunted excavator, for example, will teach you how to build plate out of metals and excavator parts, but the gemstone golem that you shattered will also teach you how to make plate, but this time out of golem parts and gemstones.
Oh.
So the more you fight, the more you learn. You expand upon a recipe you may already know and learn how to use different materials to craft it. And then from a roleplay standpoint, you can imagine how your armor may look when molded from, metal and plate or gemstones.
Weird different parts.
Yeah.
Have much more of like a glimmer to you compared to before.
Yeah, see, you feel that. You don't even have to describe it. You're just like, I'm building this out of gemstones. And by doing that, you're seeing what you've assembled, essentially. And it has a different look in your mind. So I'm very happy with this crafting system. I'm very satisfied with it.
Good.
There's a lot of intricacy to it, but it's very direct.
Look forward to trying it out.
Yeah. Oh, and for part gathering, depending on how you want to do it, you can do the which we did before, the independent DC check, or you can do what we're gonna be doing, what I call it's called batch gathering or batch carving.
Oh.
Yes, it's very fun. So when we get back on Monday and you're like, I'm gonna take this shit apart. Okay. You're gonna make 4 checks. If you succeed the check, we roll on a table, and that's the part you get.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. The DC only goes up per successful gather. So if you're rolling low, the DC will not increase. It keeps standard, essentially. Does that make sense? But as you continue to go more and more, the DC continues to go up. And your first check has a DC of 0, which means you will automatically always get to roll on this table.
Okay.
Now, one version I've been thinking about, so that it always is rewarding, and I might experiment with this, is that the check that you make provides you a bonus to the table roll.
Oh.
So if I'm like, I need a DC 20 from you, and you go, I rolled a 22. Well, congratulations. You get to roll on the table. That's pretty fucking exciting. If I go roll a DC 20 and you go, I rolled a 27. I go, that's huge. You get plus 10 to your table roll, and now you may roll on the table.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And then you're like, I rolled an 18. I'm like, don't worry, baby. It's fine. You get to roll on the table, but now at a minus 10 penalty. And then if you're like, I rolled a 13, I'm like, well, you fucked up.
Ooh.
You could roll on the table at a minus 50 penalty. So
Understood.
even if you're failing, you still get a chance to get something. It's just not as much of a chance as before. Like you're still in the running, you know. And so what this does is it kind of lessens the blow a little bit on failing to loot precious parts. Like you still have a chance. And if you're still rolling shit after that, it's like fate has decided I'm not getting this, you know, because you failed on the DC check, you failed on the table roll. It's just that's it, you know. But
The DM can only spare you so much courtesy.
that is correct. But it feels fine at that point. It feels like you had a fair shot. Meanwhile, if you're rolling high, you're going to get rewarded for that at a higher chance of getting a better part, which is very good. And by the way, bosses have a part if you roll 100 or higher that is worth a lot of money.
Nice.
You're like, hey, did you roll a 27 on the table for the corpse collector? You get corpse collector scrap. Don't worry about it. It's still worth 1,000 credits. That's pretty nice. Did you roll 100 on the table? Congratulations. You found the specialized corpse collector heart, which is a spherical orb that seems to still have a pulse to it. It's worth 10,000 credits.
My foggy brain might have fucking forgotten it.
Yeah.
Harvesting. It's a skill check, yeah?
Yes.
What's
So,
the skill?
It's one of two things.
Gotcha.
So for harvesting, like biological, all that shit, is typically a wisdom survival check. However, there are tools that you can use that when you use it, you use it as if you were proficient in the corresponding skill. So if you're carving, it's like, all right, wisdom survival check, or a carving knife. When you're carving parts, pretends as if you are proficient in wisdom survival checks.
Oh, okay.
And then you make rolls as such. But it also depends on what you're gathering from. For example, constructs is specifically a salvage job, which means you need an intelligence check with the skill associated with whatever item you're building. If it's from religious, or if it's a natural construct, if it's from a religious background, if it's an arcane made whatever. You can also use tinker tools. You can also use scrapper. What is it? A dismantling toolkit. Which the dismantling toolkit, when dismantling constructs for parts, pretends as if you are proficient in the corresponding intelligence check you need to make.
Interesting. Can I make hunter's knife?
Yes.
Oh, dope. Okay, so I can be so I can still be the carver boy.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It may use a different skill, but yeah, absolutely. Or stat.
Yeah.
Stat, I mean.
Well, okay. So yeah, I mean, my wisdom isn't high as Marius.
Correct.
But we found out killing Ceratos that none of us have survival,
Yes.
which is bad.
is bad. But what you can do in this end is build a carver's knife and go, who has the highest wisdom score here? And then the person with the highest wisdom score goes, me. And then you go, this knife is now your knife. You'll be the one that is carving, because when you use that knife, it pretends as if you are proficient in survival, even if you're not.
No. Okay, so I can do two things then. I can make them the knife. I can just fucking make them.
Yeah.
Where's my?
What's also good while you're looking for that is that these materials, because they have a market value, you sell them at market value. So if you're like, I'd rather have the money, you go to shop, you sell the parts, you get the money. Yeah.
Okay. Wonder who actually. Probably gonna.
That's something you're going to ask. Yep. Yeah, our monk and Ranger do not have great wisdom scores.
No, that was a
I
very
love it.
surprising thing. It's the same
Yeah.
it's the same sort of energy of like, all right, roll me a nature check, druid, and the druid goes, I didn't take nature. And I go, what?
Bitch, what?
I look over at their stats and they put their 14 in wisdom instead of their 18, and I go, oh, okay.
That's a
We're
choice.
playing on hard mode. Got you. All right.
That's a choice. I see.
Respect. So, what's gonna happen is fighter who has sure you're gonna roll me this check now.
Yep. Good luck.
So fucking fun.
So yeah, there is crafting options in the sense that you can pick these up pretty easily. You know, that if you need a gatherer, effectively anyone could be a gatherer. You just got to spend some credits for it. And those carving tools functions as a way to get a bonus to your carving check by enchanting them.
Oh, good. So there's still a reason for Marius to improve people's tools.
Oh, absolutely. Specifically with the carving sense, absolutely. When you're like, yeah, we need to make sure we're carving everything. everything.
Very good.
Small aside, DM. First or second? Check your DM.
Fucking secret messages.
Oh.
It's a
Honestly,
lewd
as
penis picture
Ah.
from two different angles. A or B.
Bottom of shaft or top of shaft? Which one do you think? Honestly, I think second one was great
I agree.
for their position.
Sorry.
I'm making this as homoerotic as possible because
Yes,
it's not
please.
homoerotic at all.
I know it's
which is
not.
great. Definitely the second one.
Oh man, you know, I also really liked that one as well. You know, that
Really
was
shows
my
off
favorite.
the glands.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a piss.
I like the
of it
color
back.
of that one.
Something about this is especially girthy. Oh shit! It's 10 o'clock. I gotta go.
All right.
It's late. All
Oh.
right, you guys have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Just like that. He's God once again for my sights.
This is so sad.
F in chat.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yep.
He went, oh my god, it's 10 o'clock. My old bones, they're gonna crumble. And he left.
Motherfucker.
Ooh, me old bones. Yeah, you're just stuck with us. The usuals.
Hello.
Time to die.
What?
Whoa.
39 buried. 0 found.
Bury
Oh,
this.
what does that mean?
You're kind of freaking me out, man.
I'll throw another question for you.
How do I feel about the update to the world of Adis? Does it make me any more excited to play? Hold on while I calculate if I want to answer that honestly or with a meme. Must resist urge to troll. Yeah, I mean, I was here for a lot of the changes, so yeah, hearing them, I'm very excited to play this new updated world. I'm very interested in the fleshed out Hells and Abyss, especially because I'm edgy. And I really, when I heard about the Taurus, like the new Hells, it really wanted me to bring back Compromise. Like I really want to play Compromise right now because that whole like secret space agent is kind of how I pictured her to begin with. So she kind of fits right into that whole like anti-Abyss secret agent vibe. Will Dager be an Illrigger? No, I don't think so. I have yet to figure out how to make him an Illrigger. I think the party would be very troubled if their captain was an Illrigger. No, his current class is a rune knight.
Altaurus take you.
All right.
The Raven Guard. Operatives of Victim Altaurus.
All right.
Behold the Centurion. Ager.
I don't know how Zamirin feels about me working with this guy.
Pain Breaker. For Wrath of the Repentant.
All right.
Soldier to Lady Helia.
Trust me, I would love to play a Pain Taker Illrigger for period. Actually, just at all. But I don't have the backstory to make him an Illrigger at the moment. Most of these doofuses are what?
I've told a lot of I can't say I've told a lot of people. I've had to tell Cyric multiple times that you don't have to start as one, but the opportunities to become one are always there in the world. Like becoming a Slayer, becoming a Hell Knight, becoming an Abyss Walker, things like that.
I mean, sure, I'd love to play a Elrigger at some point. The only issue is that I don't know if Elriggers in your world have uh, vows or tenets.
Not
like
as
the-
not as malicious as OG riggers.
Gotcha.
Their vows are more to the fleet.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm just not sure how the party would feel about me saying, guys, all of your points are valid, but because my oaths say we have to do this, we're doing this, and I'm the captain, so shut up. Generally, I feel like captains work best when they aren't tied, when their main priority is to the well-being of the party and not whatever
Yeah.
ideals they're gonna hold.
the
You
crew.
don't usually have the paladin play the party leader. Usually it's like the ranger who's a jack of all trades.
Yeah, you generally want the paladin to be like the lieutenant, somebody who's going to
Right.
bring morals and ethics into question, and then that is sort of somebody for the leader to bounce off of and be like, is the thing that we're doing ethically right? Do we care about ethics?
Exactly. So I'm trying to leave his morality open to see how the party wants to do things before I say, oh yeah, he's just like that. It makes sense for Summer to be an Illrigger, honestly, if anyone was going to be an Illrigger. Is Yuri going to be a talent now? Haha. I wish. Well, I mean, Dame's already announced it, so I don't think Yuri is going to get played again, unfortunately.
All right, lads.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we made a lot of statements saying that she would be the moment it would come out, but yeah, it just didn't work out. It came too late. If I could, I would, though.
Are riggers and paladins similar? In a sense. They both serve higher powers, or sort of bound by oath penance. I would see them being at odds at times. Like Watcher Paladins not liking Victim Altaurus at all. And there are probably people who like Maltaurus because Maltaurus takes soul. There are probably some people who feel a particular type of way about Victim Altaurus. More often than probably Paladins. What I could see is like a Illrigger and a Paladin sort of being forced to work together. That I can definitely see. Not really enemy, but a general dislike each other being forced to work together. Because Victim Altaurus does slay demons, they're not widespread. You're not going to every town and seeing fucking Victim Altaurus recruiting station. But as wayfarers, your chance of coming across them is much higher than that of like armor. So imagine you just got done fighting like a category 4 demon, really strong. What's probably going to happen is that the next day, Victim Altaurus will show up. He told drop off a bunch of Hellwalkers. And they're going to be investigating the area. And they're going to probably, if the players are still there, ask the players questions about what happened. And they're going to go try and find the rift that the demon came from. Try to get in this. It's a big thing that getting in. And Adis presents the best possible chance because of how close pressed up they are against the Victim Altaurus really wants those portals. That's what they're looking for. Generally, the way they get recruits, shit like that, they save people. And those people are like, well, home is everything's in ruins. I have nothing left. What happens if I come with you? Well, you'll serve the bloody Domina. You will be.
That sounds awesome.
You'll be my. Well, actually, because you're joining willingly, you'll become my Optio. You'll become an Illrigger in service to the wrath of the repentant. You will be above the chaff, so to speak. And when I move up, you will become the Centurio. So you will be coming into this as a noble, which is often enough to persuade many. For them to go, yeah, you can continue being a peasant, or you come and serve Wrath of the Repentant underneath the bloody Domina, and you become a noble. You become a lord.
Smile.
Most people
No
go,
strings
damn.
attached. Smile.
Yeah, no strings
Army.
attached. You just
Army
have to
recruiter
serve
style.
for a very long time to eventually get your retirement, or, you know, you fuck up.
I would never fuck up. Look at me, says the peasant dirt farmer.
Yeah. I think it's a very interesting thing. Not something that happens. So there's not like a billion. There are way more paladins than there are Illrigger. I've actually decided that a lot of planet ships that Victim Altaurus has, a lot of it's barren because these are sort of like their last ships.
Yeah.
They're parked here because of how close we are to the abyss. So it's sort of like their staging ground. Actually, I remember all the other shit. I only remember Wrath of the Repentant because it's Helia's ship. Need to remember the other ones. The other name. Well, the raspy voice really suits Victim Altaurus vibe. Yeah. You get a sign-on bonus of 12 to 16 years.
Yo, easy.
We'll sell you this Hellcat for real dirt cheap and with a 30% APR.
Yo, it's basically free.
Yeah, man, just use your credit card. It's not your money.
Oh my god.
Banks hate this one easy trick.
Your staff sergeant doesn't have to know.
So we have Helia, the bloody Domina, Wrath of the Repentant, greatest Hellwalkers in Abyss. We have Linaran, Varus Dominus, Atonement. We have Remkill, the Avarice Dominus, the Unending Tithes. We have Anaria, the Adjudicator Domina, the Unflinching Conviction. We have Damarian, Hemophant, Blood of the Sullied. We have Malvora, the Warder Dominus, Truth and Reconciliation. We have Azalea, the Reclaimer Domina, Enduring Conviction. We have Dalus, the Magica Domina, Twilight of... Have Father of the Shadow of Intent. If you are a shitty person in life, there's a very high chance that you end up on Invicta Maltoris, a Legionarius. Survive a couple of your encounters, hiding the abyss, and become a Duplicarius, veteran soldier. Prove that you're not a shithead, and you might
I
get picked.
assure you, I've learned my lesson.
You might get picked by an Optio who is becoming a Centurio. They're going to make you their Optio. When your Centurio becomes a Tribunus, you become the Centurio. And eventually you become a Tribunus, become a Legatus. Then you start the bureaucracy bullshit. You start Imperium and shit.
All the motherfuckers going, man, I wish I was out on the field again.
It's a lot of that. It's the one thing I really enjoyed about the military is that you can meet some very salty. Salty is a term for people who've been around for a fucking long time. And they're like, it's some fucking sergeant major. And he's like, God, I wish I could be on the field again. I'm so fucking tired of paperwork. I have a theory why the demons are so focused on us instead of like hunting the Allfather. He had to have some sort of method that had made the mortals of Adis more appealing. Have something inside the mortals that just draws the demon more, other than the also being so close to the abyss. The big thing is that the reason so many demons are interested because we're on the fringes. And a lot of the inner planets for the center of the universe, the Eye of Terror, they're already controlled by bigger, powerful, antediluvian beings. So Maelormanir is trying to stake his own claim. You're fighting demons with a CR. They're like the weak, right? They're basically trying to make their own home. It's also a benefit that human souls are so fucking strong. They really, really like mortal souls because mortal souls give them a lot of power. Like if a category 6 demon has like 3 souls to start with, they can access a bunch of abilities. As Victim Altaurus operate are more prevalent in a continent, are they present equally throughout the planet? Or are they like offering Illrigger deals more on the wilderness of Tenacious and Hardy? I think they operate all across Adis. Just clicked in my head, but Bossman's voice right now. That's a huge comp. I need a weapon.
I need a kitten.
Sign on now and get a sign-on bonus for 12 to 16. You only get one-time use house loan. That's right, babe.
Oh my god, what a deal! I don't understand why everyone just join Victor Map Pullers. Like, Jesus. Can't wait to meet like some like low ranking like Victor Maltoris reject who's like a security guard. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about joining, the Legatus or maybe the Hospitalities. You got to keep your options open.
Yeah. You'll meet plenty of those. I think I have. Rye. We haven't done much, but we've started Eliant. Sort of like it. gonna be much more organized, older, because it has like roads. Oh, it'll probably look not much like Summer Hall, but it'll have similarities to Summer Hall.
Nice.
Yeah, because before Elion was like forgotten, now it's like a staple. One of like what's the term? I think it's like breadbasket. A very profitable town. One of the more profitable county. Also a border town for the county. So resources are put here by the Dracus.
So CTF did help in the source.
Yeah.
I'll pretend they did.
Well, I might
We did this.
sort of move things around. Have F group have slain terror. That's what would be on back on the map.
Yay. We do exist.
Hey, you guys might be here in Elion or doing your own.
Nice.
They'll sort of need to fucking end up.
So my new character's actually a child of your.
Yeah.
Yeah, she fucked a cowboy.
I see.
Yep. Then left the kid here because she freaked out and didn't know what to do with kids. Because I mean, look
Nice.
at her. She has no idea. She shouldn't be anyone's mom. Let's be real.
Yeah, I definitely want the characters of CF to still have a presence in the world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to talk to Summer about her background now.
Yeah, it's been a little modified.
Violently transformed.
So I hate to break it to you, but you're actually from space.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
You're actually a devil that went native.
I don't know how to tell you this. Actually, I do. You're an alien. Surprise.
Somehow I don't know. I don't think they'll have a problem with that. You know,
I don't think they will.
being an alien's kind of badass. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, you're basically part of a badass super fleet that was curb stomping the Illithids until the Illithids were like, I lose, everyone loses. You know, like cunts.
Thanks. Someone had to be a bigger asshole in the universe than elves, I guess.
Correct. Decided the only way to win was to open up the center of the universe.
I know what I'll do. I'll kill everyone and then hide in a box until the coast is clear, says the proto brain.
Surely nobody will find me.
Oh, we found his box!
Fuck.
Well, one thing he couldn't have relied on. Proto-human stupidity.
There were, I had talked to Cyric about this. Was the idea that there were definitely human, like the proto species, was very against bringing back the brain.
Yeah, I mean, as they should be.
They were like, no, leave that where the fuck you found it, and do not bring that back home. They were
What if-
like, oh, but we already did tests, and it's a perfect battery.
Nice. Of course it is. What if
Like-
Emir grew to power because he was the one who brought it back and basically gave like free power to all of humanity?
Well, Amir was the leader. He's the one who very much approved bringing it back.
Bastard.
Realized on fate a sentient being that grew very vengeful. That's why he was the one. But he was also like, ooh, hubris. Humanity shall die. 8 billion years will start again. And Odin was like, no, man.
Let's start tomorrow, you asshole.
I got shit I can do right now. Like, we have failed.
It's time to take all of our failures, put them into a box, and go to sleep. Get in the cryo chamber.
No, I got projects I want to
Yeah.
work on now.
Get in the cryo chamber.
I'm not getting in the cryo chamber. I'm not getting in the cryo chamber.
Just fucking strangles him. Get in the cryo chamber. Trying to shove him into the cryo chamber.
That's exact. Well, close. They do.
That's how I imagine.
They do get in a scuffle and start
Yeah.
throwing hands at each other, and Amir basically beating the shit out of Odin. Then Edgar rose up, fucking shoots him. I liked Skullthrone's suggestion of like where,
Oh my
Ember
God.
probably like shot him in the spine or something.
Oh.
And then Odin quickly gets up, like grabs the gun from his son and goes, hey, didn't kill him. Kill him. I did. Turns around, blows out his father's brains. Or his grandfather's brains.
Freaky.
Look, see, I did that. Do it.
Huh. Fucking Odin's sitting there, hands on his hips. I'm such a good father.
But he's
Looking
trying to
at
like
Emperor in the corner.
spare,
Oh God,
spare
he's
his
dead.
son.
Oh fuck. Oh God.
He's trying to spare his son from like
Yeah, the trauma of.
that trauma. So it's like a fucked up form of parenting. In his mind, he thought he was. It's the same all father motif where he's so controlling that like when he's doing something, he thinks he's doing it for the betterment of other people.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that killing Amir like that is a traumatizing event itself. When he goes, hey, you didn't do this, I did this, and then shoots him in his fucking head in front of Ember, that would fuck up Ember.
Oh. No need to panic. I have this well under control.
I mean, it would be fucked up of me to be like, and yeah, they never resurrected Alaric. Although, Alaric being dead but being remembered as a hero, like a statue to Chile. That's also pretty.
I mean, run it by Siri, see what he thinks.
Very well. All right, that's already looking much nicer. Yeah, we'll definitely save this for tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have more energy.
Nice.
Or that it also pissed Amir off so much his ghost was still mad Melinda. Fuck around and find out. I mean, him getting murdered in such a way, he is the first Wraith. Like, either Wraiths or Spectres who died violent, brutal deaths and were not given any semblance of peace. So they come back fucking furious. And that's where you get Wraiths. But I think Amir being the first Wraith as he was murdered is fantastic. It basically sets him up to being the Lich King shit.
Yo, Vecna.
Vecna. On PC, the hotfix are screensavers. Bugs out if you okay. Wild.
Or
Fizzle, in the new CTF, do you think Fury would have stayed with her friends or gone back to Carousel?
ooh. I think she would have stayed in Tiras for as long as she could. But I think at a certain point, Shademore would have called for her.
Yeah, I think at some point Daddy Dearest would come looking.
Indeed.
More so out of like necessity to make sure you're still alive. Being like, it's been a while.
Hey, where you been?
You've been.
You know.
Who are these people?
You know. That's yeah, that's just the princess of the Edmore. That's the princess of Vinheim.
I think
I mean, it's
I think Dad would be super proud that she's made such powerful political allies.
Absolutely.
Hell,
I think she'd been like, oh, you did listen after all. Look
Correct.
at these connections you've made.
so many princes and princesses. Who's that? Points at a Shilde.
Oh, that's just a don't worry. Shove him off in the corner.
I think Dad would be like, well done.
I think in a fucked up way, he would have like, if he had heard of what like all the trauma she went through, he would have seen it as this like, well, that's the price you pay to make to like yeah, you've gone through all this trauma, but you also have an in now, so
Yeah.
like it was worth it.
You have
right?
multiple ends. You have influence. They
Probably
listen
would.
to.
Yeah. He probably would have been like, you know, because he's probably gone through some shit himself to get the contacts that he has.
A little blood.
Right. It builds character. Like, this is the sacrifice you have to make.
This
Right.
is nobility.
Yeah. He has a very Machiavellian attitude of, like, the nobility are there to make the hard choices. We're not here because God gave us divine right or because of some lineage. We're here because we have education and contacts. We're given all this power and the will to use it simply because we have the will, you know. It's not like oh my, I'm a noble because my daddy was a noble. Like, I think he'd be very acutely aware, especially being in Shademore, that like nobles who rest on their haunches get overthrown by their own people or by rivals, you know. Very almost like a mob boss attitude. So I think I think he'd be very proud of her in some twisted, fucked up way.
Like that.
But
Dazed.
also get the fuck home.
Yeah, enough playing.
Yeah, come home now.
Dazed. Feeling. About to break.
Yeah, it would not be like, oh my god, you made friends. Wow. I don't think he'd find any value in like actual like bondship of like being in a party or friendship. It'd mostly be like, oh wow, look at those high status people you connected with. That's crazy. That's my girl.
You will make trade deals with them.
Yeah.
They will bring supplies to the Shademore.
I might be dating one. What?
Ringing ears. Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Oh my god, you have like a romantic interest with one? Oh my god, you could totally use that. Political game. That's crazy. Wow, I'm so proud of you, daughter.
And you plan on marrying into the nobility? You really are my daughter.
Yeah.
I did it out of love. What?
Well, I mean, of course you did. I also love the power, you know?
Nudge, nudge.
You know, I married your mother out of love, but, you know, not solely love.
Power has its benefit.
Nobility always has their power to think about, their position. They could do things out of love, but it's never just love.
Now, Siluro would not be accepted in Carousel.
Yeah.
If Siluro went to Carousel, it would be like, oh, first off, you're a child. Secondly, you don't know how to do revelry. She's more like a pet.
Ooh.
Yeah, they would treat her like a child. They wouldn't acknowledge her nobility at all. I think they would view her as a mockery of an heritage.
Yeah, especially with her being like a High Lord's daughter and basically being treated as a human.
Yeah.
They probably think she's like an abused child, basically.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
they probably they'd either be like, ew, you're a mockery, or they'd basically pity her.
Well, a lot of the elves would basically turn their nose up at her.
Oh, yeah.
She would hate a lot of the elves over there. They would treat her like dog shit.
Damn.
And she's not like religious. She doesn't believe in the mother of elves. So that's a fucking huge strike in the
Big L.
if she doesn't believe in the goddess, the mother of creation and shit like that, they're gonna fucking roast her alive.
Rip.
Maybe literally.
Huh. What?
Yeah. Remember, they're zealots. So if a magister or whatever, or inquisitor sort of takes cross with the idea of her not being a devout worshiper of the mother, she might be viewed as a heretic.
Ruh-roh. This will have implications later.
Yeah, unlike Tyros, which is polytheistic, Carousel is monotheistic. They believe in the mother, and that's it.
Yeah, Bob.
They believe in the mother and her saint. They don't acknowledge Aranar. They acknowledge the Allfather, but they know that the Allfather's gone. It's more so like sort of like a package deal type thing. They don't really care for the Allfather. They care in so much that he made mother. But even then, there are some revisionists out there who are like, Mother of Elves is the goddess of creation. She made everything.
Ooh, they're going back. They're like, yeah, you know what? Allfather never actually existed. That was just misinterpretation.
It's basically what it is.
That's fucked up.
But they're like, Mother of Elves, a creator of all things. She's the one who gifted us this tree. Look how the humans destroyed theirs.
Damn dog.
Then you have the Wilderness and Suna, which have different interpretations of the gods in the sea. So like Sariel, Tyros is different. Different saint titles.
Different? You mean wrong? rack my religious stick.
In Yatagara, I believe the only god that they really acknowledge of the pantheon is Zomaran. Because they usually believe like ancestors and local spirits like kami and yokai and shinigami and stuff like that.
Mm.
So they believe more in spirits than gods. Now, to them, it's the same thing, sort of. Their worship of like the mountains and everything is them still worshiping people like Maelormini, or not Maelormini,
Smile.
Moraltir and like Shilier and things like that. They just don't call them that. They don't. It's not like, oh yeah, you are the prime deity. Sure, it's like I worship the mountains because the mountain spirit protects us. I worship the kami of the river because it provides for my family.
Nice.
Heroes is where you get, like, Heroes is probably one of the few places you get, like, all of the gods. Each god has a saint. You can find those chapels, churches, and abbeys, shit like that, to those saints for that god. So, for example, Summerhall's chapel is to Merowyn, Lady of the Harvest, because they have so much to do with their orchard. What I put for? I believe yeah, so for Eliond, despite having a big emphasis put on their harvest, they worship Saint Morelia. Not Morelia, Luella. Because Luella is all about like the sun's wrath.
That's crazy, bro.
I think they have small shrines to every saint of Ebor, Eliond, but it is Luella that has the chapel.
Mm.
So, like, if you went out to one of the farms, you would probably find a shrine to Merowyn. Can't wait for Yatagara. I have itches for some Yatagara.
Ooh.
I eventually want to expand out Gross. Just really like Tyros.
You gotta search somewhere. The way Tyros is built, it's kind of the place that has a little bit of everything. So, you know, it makes sense that's the place you want to start.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as restrictive.
Right.
Other places. I think Elion's gonna have a chapel, and I think they're also gonna have a temple.
Oh my, fancy.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a temple that houses all of this. They have a chapel for where a lot of the religious practices happen. Just because Mira is again just faith. She's a very high-ranking member of the. That's why she can cast things like Raise Dead. Will there be Caressian missionaries who traveled to Yatagar to turn them to the Allfather and Barados? I think they would get their shit rocked. I think if Caressian missionaries went to Yadagara, try to spread Mother of El for teachings, I think they would get their shit rocked. I'm pretty sure a lot of the early Christian missionaries in Japan also got their shit rocked.
Correct. They got owned.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they rolled up and were like, believe in God. And they went, time
God
to
this.
die.
Yeah. Go watch Blue Eye Samurai. He talks about that, which is a very good show, by the way. I had to recommend it.
I think we're watching that next Sunday.
Ooh,
Instead of
Ooh.
Cyberpunk. So
just finished it. It's real good. It's real good.
yeah, one of the most famous was one missionary who was tied to rocks and death by the tide.
Classic.
Nice. And in Philippines everybody has like missionaries have went across the world. It just so happens that some people upon first contact go, oh no,
Cringe.
bounce your head off the concrete.
No, thank you.
You know the story of the Mongols getting kicked out of Japan by a bit of the. Oh, I could see that, yeah. Especially with how Yadagara is.
Ooh, we doing like a storm dragon elemental kind of thing, protector?
I don't see why not. They do have. I would love to put in. How do
Isn't there like the MCDM like protector dragon thing? It's like there to protect the entire planet from like calamity.
yeah, that's
Wakes up.
Zogamak.
Yeah.
I think they might. I want to give them the 4 symbol. I know it's. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. But I want to give them the 4 symbols, which is the black tortoise, the azure dragon, the vermilion bird, and the tiger. Because
Nice.
I fucking love it. Big giant dragon eel.
Or big dragon eel, you say?
All right. Believe that. That is all for tonight.
All right.
Okay.
Save and go from there. No, it was a short stream. But I appreciate you guys showing up all the same.
Of course, thanks for streaming.
We are gonna stream tomorrow as well. Just sort of keep working on the just little details that I really enjoyed, like adding the sort of little farm that the singing had for like its chickens and stuff. And making the chapel much cleaner looking.
Matters.
Fun has been done, but water buffaloes and those are the fauna and flora are magical creatures. It doesn't refer to like mundane that are unique to that continent. So there probably are unique creatures only to that continent. But the fauna and flora listed on the Kanka are magical and things you would only find or encounter at Agara, Tyros. Like, you go to Carousel, you're never going to find a bear. You might find big fucking bears. But you're never gonna find a root bear. You go to the wilderness, you're gonna find an avalanche bear. You go to Suna, you're never gonna find an avalanche bear. Things like that. But I'd only find yaks, heroes type shit. Why don't you guys go ahead and
Right.
Well, chat room.
Matters.
all right, friends, companions. Thank you guys so much for coming out, supporting the stream. Again, I know it was a short one, but I'm still trying to work through this COVID shit. Here's to no more dying. We're gonna try and stream tomorrow. We'll keep working on Elion, and then go from there. A lot of the stuff that I'm gonna be streaming is mostly gonna be me putting big focus on new game, so we can eventually start playing D&D. I really want to play D&D. So I hope you all have a fantastic night. I hope you take care of yourselves. For all of you who continue to support me on the Patreon or with your subs, honestly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. It really does mean the world to me. I wouldn't be able to do this without your support, so thank you. I hope that you all have a fantastic night. I hope you take care of yourself. Hug your loved ones. Tell them that you love them. And I will see you guys later. Bye, chat.